Hello. Welcome back to ARMA League 2020. Hanchans, a lot. I think it's like 37, 38, and 30. Oh, sorry, 38, 39, and 40. Um, just as a quick brief over the rules, we do have Akari or Red Fives on, no bankruptcy on Otobi, a Tamahane or head bump on, Kiriage Mangan or rounded Mangan, no abortive draws, 30-10 Uma with an Oka where everyone starts at 25,000 and would have to return 30,000. As a quick, first of all, look at the scores. Where is it? Here, yes, good. We're going to start our evening. At the start of this evening, these are the scorelines. We have Trombonomi in first, Flame Coast Evil Eye in second, AUNSW Wanderers in third, Tile Dreaming in fourth, Notice Me Tenpai in fifth, Zomani Chiterodus in sixth, the Powerpuff Boys in seventh, The Last Wise Players in eighth, Doors for Losers in ninth, and Can't for Fun in 10th place. I am joined by the lovely SBT.
I'm back and alive this time. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Actually had a full meal like you're supposed to.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, I actually had like the juiciest burger I've had in a long time. So I'm actually very happy right now.
Okay. Actually taking care of yourself for once.
The things I do for Mario, man.
Didn't you, I was hearing that you fell asleep during the Genki lecture today because you were
Okay,
very
now
tired?
just to be clear, I didn't fall asleep. I was resting my eyes and admiring the insides of my eyelids.
All right. I see. Yeah, all right. We believe you. I guess the exam season has been rough, so understandable.
Oh, dude.
Um, yeah. I'm actually okay. So I'm gonna take a picture of this so that we know how we end off our evening, which is what that sound is. But we will be entering our Hanchan right now. So I forgot to track the seating because the seating is definitely predefined. So we'll just give us a second. Just give us a second. And we are off. We have Chewy in the east seat, Lau in the south seat. I believe that's 5 in the west seat, and Visa in the north seat. Why do we have 3 people with not normal names? I'm very, very annoyed. What happened to my? The voices are on, aren't they? Yes, they are definitely on. Anyways, so opening up, we have Chewy with an aggressive
Yeah,
aggressive
so
looking on its hand,
this
maybe
could
even
be
something like a
anything, man.
Menhon Chitoi. No, it just does get into Tenpai for Menhon Aka 1. Will they
There's
choose to
Ipeco in
reach
there.
it? Is the question.
There's
They
Ipeco
do
in there, my
choose
dude. Yeah.
Menhon E Peiko does choose to reach it. Now, Shui has definitely talked about this before, where he wants to prey off of that north, presumably thinking that it's so early, the north and the Naimon are incredibly vulnerable tiles that may come out anyways, and you know what, might as well get that in Pachi, yeah? So,
Yeah, well, yeah, that north is the north Shampon is actually a really good weight right now. The 9-man, it'll catch someone. So this is pretty sick, Richie.
and it does hit 5, who unfortunately does deal the 9-man into Chewy. Reach Menhon Aka Ipeiko, 18,000 points delivered straight to AUNSW Wanderers.
Just a casual what, turn 4?
Turn
Turn
3
4 Hanuman? Just a
So that
casual turn 4 Hanuman, and this hand is
yes.
nothing to scoff at either.
Starting us off with an extremely good I don't know, just a good stuff, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we do move on to East 1-1, where Chewy has picked up another very nice hand. That's just, oh god, that's pretty scary. Oh wait, why did I not display the death symbol? Huh? I think it was a bit late for that one. Pawn by
Drop the
Lao.
gong.
Oh, did you prepare the gong sound effect?
No, I forgot the gong.
Mm, what a disaster. So Loud does pawn again, seeming to go for that Kawashite. So few awkward shapes, but thinking perhaps the hand I don't want to give up on it, so I'm gonna press it in a bit and try to end this hand quickly, presuming that normally people don't have fast hands at the start. However, Chewy's draws are just on point here, filling out that
Mm.
six. Was that a 6-pin draw? It was something ridiculous.
Oh, it was 7-pin, I think it was.
Oh god, oh
I don't
god, is this
remember.
gonna be a
Oh,
mention?
yeah. Um, yeah, so, clochetes really only work if, your hand is fast, but Lao's hand does not actually look fast enough to wash, this
Wash?
away.
No, it does not, does it? Um, yeah. So it was. He was presented an interesting question on that Hatsu, whether to keep the Hatsu to go for Hanetsu or keep this Tanyao Dora one, maybe Pinfu alive. You can draw the full mon. 8-pin does not come out from Visa. Good discipline in probably seeing these dangerous discards. And Chewy's now presented an option. Does he keep going for this Chinitsu Dora Dora? Or does he go for something more likely, like maybe a Tanyao? And he does like to go for the Tanyao route. However, the 4-pin is an interesting cut to go for Tanyao.
It's disciplined, allows him to pawn the 8-pin or the 2-pin, and a chi of the 4 or 6 mon actually gets him into Tenpai. So this is a Tenpai with a guaranteed Yaku. You don't have to rely on the 1-pin, you don't have to rely on the 9-pin. So if you're going for Tanyao, I like this this 4-pin. So the 8-pin pawn here works. Puts himself into Tenpai on the 6 mon. Tanyao Doradora after you've already won, like, what was it, 18,000 is good enough here. Um, Lao
However,
doesn't.
like, how spicy would it have been to go 18,000 into another 18,000?
I mean, yes, but also you actually have to get there first.
Fortunately, Lao does wash away that hand, winning the 8-so off of 5 for Haku, 1,300 points, moving us to East 2. Oh, that is a
Not
very
quite.
pretty 5-so draw.
Does the hand itself does still actually look a little bit awkward. There's no complete. Oh well, there is a completed shape now. And with this East pawn
Oh,
here,
he skips the pun!
what?
I believe this is an act of conservatism from Chewy, not wanting to risk his position with so many points, that despite the nice value of the hand, he doesn't want to ever be in a position to deal in.
Well, Chewy has proven across the entire league that they're a very closed heavy player. They don't like.
Hey, last time you said this, the person had a 40% open rate. You better back your numbers up.
Well, we both know for a fact that Chewy hates opening.
Chewy does hate opening, but I wonder how often. I'm gonna go check the stats now because I'm curious. Because you can hate it, but still concede that it's the right thing to do. 22% open rate. That is very low. That is actually really low. Oh my god. Yeah, no, you're just right.
Yeah, so yeah, my information is backed up by stats this
Yeah.
time. Chewy hates opening. Even so, I feel like this hand should have definitely been open, but what do I know? It's working out so far.
I do agree that it probably should be opened, mainly because it is worth enough value. And you are playing in a league setting. It's no longer the placement. Oh, sorry, not no longer the placement value. But the placement battle isn't the only factor. You do have a factor in, points. So going for a hand which is very clearly, well, not very clearly, but like has a lot of high potential and gives you Yaku is a consideration. But we do know that Chewy is more of a conservative player when it comes to already having a lead. So that's probably what's backing up their decision right now.
And it's not like the hand was like dismal either. There was a lot of pawn potential, a lot of chi potential there as well. So yeah, the open may have actually been a better strategy here, as we have been talking about. But it's coming together. Is Shanten now?
Perfect Ishanten as well. That's very
Hmm.
nice.
Will be Furiten though.
Mm.
If
And
they if I'm wrong.
Visa does Ricci waiting for the 3-6 Pinfu Nami, but oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Pinfu, you can't complain too much about Pinfu. Wonder if Chewie will get himself into a bit of trouble if the East comes out, or even more trouble if he draws the East himself.
If they draw the East themselves, they're dealing in,
Yes.
without a doubt. But if the East
Oh,
opportunity comes, I'm not actually all too sure.
ooh, and Visa does draw the Sansa, praise be. Simoing in for a
Hmm.
reach pin food simmer, 700, 1300, but more importantly, shutting down the chase Ricci from 4th place, which is always terrifying whenever you're already in Ricci. So that does rack them a nice, solid amount of points. More importantly, passing on the round to East 3.
Yeah, five's not going to be all too happy with that, considering the hand was actually quite decent there. But dealership now, Dora Dora, this could potentially be quite good, I think.
Mm. The awkward part about Terminal Doras, and I think it's why it's the meta to play aggressively into Terminal Doras, is that it is quite hard to get the Yaku. So, like, despite Five's hand being, Dora 2, he's gonna need to reach it more often than not, unless he can get that
Mm.
Trin pair, but, that's quite a leap in logic. You need to get one and then get one before someone else cuts it and hope that it's, there on time. Let's see. Oh, that's very nice. 5-pin draw for Visa. Does put them into 3 Shanten? Is that 3 Shanten?
It's a little bit away,
Yeah.
Shanten.
Yes, but it's a nice like pin food. It's like a pin food Dora Dora, like 3 Shanten. So and adding Ipeco there adds a. It's just very pretty
Yeah,
shapes. It's
the
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 Shanten
hand is
number is not
definitely
pretty,
coming
but
together.
the shapes are pretty. Oh, and we have another. I'm going to call it here. It's an Australian thing. We have an Australian Open here where it seems like it's a commitment to Toy Toy. So Five has seen that the keeping this hand closed and cashing in both the Dora is a bit too heavy, so he's decided to open up and go for Toy Toy and try to cash in the Dora via just pon. You know?
Hmm. I do understand the mentality behind it. However, the it's not the best tiles to be going for Toy Toy here with. 1 mon usually would be good, but it happens to be Dora this time. 3 mon is a little yikes to be going for Toy Toy with. 8 mon is actually alright, and 7 so is kind of the same as 3 mon. It's a little yikes to be going for Toy Toy with. However, there's a lot of 9 and 6 so's out, so there's a possibility that 7 so might look alright to discard.
And so we see that Chui has gotten into Kawashite Tenpai for 2-5 sir. So very nice. Well, Tenpai for 1,000 points, but more importantly, washes away whatever's going on. Especially when you hit this sort of turn 11 and you have a Terminal Dora and you have someone potting the 7-pin and not naturally overflowing the 1-ma, this has to erase some alarm bells.
Yeah, there's definitely something happening in dealer's hand here, and you want to get rid of it.
Mm. 2-5
Weight
sir.
wise, there's only one 8 mon, one 1 mon, and both are free. 1 3 mon. So 5 might be in a little bit of trouble here, especially with Lao's reach.
Mm. Now, Lao does reach you, waiting for the Kantran Tuso for Reach San Shokudura 1. We do have a Tamahane on, so if that Tuso comes out of Five's hand, it will only deal in to Chewy for 1,000 points. However, the saving grace may be something like a 4-man. Everything is coming out exactly as I say it. A 4-man is a very live tile to Lao's Richi, and in your first place, Chewy may choose to fault on the 1-pin.
Yeah, Chewie's not pushing that.
But that
So,
actually sets a death trap for for 5 here, because 5 was almost about to deal into this very, very cheap 1,000 point hand. Now if 5 gets into Tenpai, especially off a 1-man drop, or just the 2-star,
it's
it
over.
deals instead into Lao for 8,000 points, or Ura making it 12,000. 2 Ura, sorry, making it 12,000. So unfortunately, Chewy, sorry, I'm tripping over my words. Chewy folding that hand caused that overflow to deal into a much more expensive hand in Lao's hand. So very, very unfortunate.
Not actually sure if that was good for Chewy or not.
I do not think so. I think now Chewy's first place is in contention. So I think that's about as worst. I think it's actually the worst case scenario, if I'm entirely honest. In terms of like, if you imagine like the standings, right? So AU and SW Wanderers still has a quite nice lead over fifth place. So they're not too worried about being overtaken. They're probably more trying to compete with Chombo Nomi or Flame Curse Evil Eye or even Tile Dreaming. And Chombo Nomi getting that nice 8,000 points and putting them in very close contention to first place. Now they're less than 9,000 points, 8,000 points. Sorry, 9,300 points from first is not a comfortable position to be in at all. Your conservatism almost has to disappear at this point, and you have to go back to playing normally. That's just my take on it, of course. However, this actually provides an interesting grounds because 5 is on Team Zomoni Chiteridus, which is currently 6th overall, so I do not know if Team Z can actually take a last place comfortably here. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some desperation noises from 5 here. Like, I don't think they can take this sitting down.
Oh, there would have been desperation noises right after you got hit by the Hanuman, but like now it's even worse. Like you're not
That's
really
a good hand
wanting to-
though. sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go on.
No, this is definitely what they need to get back in the game, and you really wish this could have happened during the dealership, but this will do. That will do. That'll do, lads.
Sumo, Tanya, Pinfu, Dora. No, is that no Ura? So no Baiman, unfortunately. But I mean, that Sumo Hanuman will kickstart you back into the race for not last. Still a bit of a desperate situation, but that's what you need. That's exactly what
That's
you need.
what you're
Oh god,
looking for.
Yakuhai Dora. Are you seeing this, SBT?
I am indeed, and I'm a little concerned.
So,
there's quite a few lines possible here, and some of them include Toy.
I think an interesting playing area for Chewy right now is that 8-so is very vulnerable in Visa's hand. Does Chewy take the cheat? It actually signals your hands ridiculously hard. However, when you hit when you get to like a certain mentality, well, I guess it doesn't matter now, but like you can sort of think of it as like, well, if I am not going to fill this shape now, how will I ever? So I guess now it's irrelevant, of course, but before you can call the Yakuhai, do you fill in the shape and signal to everyone that you're going for something weird? Because terminal melds are not normal.
Yeah, I'm the type of player who would definitely look at my hand and consider it. If I was in Lau's position with the exact same question, it's almost certainly yes, I think. But in first place, there's definitely another factor you have to consider, and it's the defensive factor. It's just like, do I really want to be opening my hand while I'm in first place? And opening myself up to getting hit by a Ron or something. As we discussed, it may have been like last night or something. The more Dora you have, the less Dora you can be hit with. So opening up your hand, but you already have two Dora. What is the biggest hand you really could deal into? Assuming you dodge your putts and everything. So feel like 8 so chi may have been alright. Especially because he already has the pair of
Oh,
huts. You can always pawn, and if no, and if someone happens to draw it late, you strand in their hands, and they're unlikely to win. So
oh.
yeah, it's probably a fair call.
On our left here, we saw an interesting decision by Visa, rejecting the Shabo wait for San Anko in favor of a two-sided wait for just Richidora 1. It does similar it, and I think the decision was made on the basis of, well, there are two 2-mons in the pond, so the ability to get the hand is a lot more difficult.
Hmm.
Um, does end up sumoing the 8-mon, so reach sumo Dora 1. We'll give them a nice, jump, and now we have now second is definitely in contention, it's really, really anyone's game here. 5 will need another hand before. Oh wait,
Yeah,
what the
the
hell?
5
Holy
got 5
crap!
got 4 Dora, man. Like,
Holy crap!
this is what we define as a magpie hand.
Oh
On
god!
hut,
Oh, how
Dora
greedy!
4 is ready.
All right, so we saw a Sanbai Mon yesterday, right? I guess this can't really be a Sanbai Mon. That's gonna be pretty hard.
Uh, Honetsu Dora 4 huts. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that's just
little
a Bai
too.
Mon.
I mean, Kun 5 man gives you another Dora possibility.
Oh, I see. I see. I
You could nah, it's a little bit too far away.
see.
Oh, there's a Honetsu push here, surely. No.
Yes. No. Ooh. Okay then.
I like it. It's conservative and it's conservative. Like you're valuing winning the hand over big value, and considering that you've got your dealership coming up, this is completely fine as well. I think this should most. Oh, actually no.
Yeah, you can cheat for Tempai
Yeah,
on the 2 so, or you can cut the 3 so and go for this Baimon here. Baimon will launch you back into things, so I think that's, if you can get this Baimon, it's very, very important.
yeah. Chi is most definitely always the correct answer. I think it's actually whether or not you go for that Honetsu or you go take the Tempai. Considering it's early and you actually do need the points, going for that Honetsu could be good.
Mm,
But you're going to need some pretty nice draws. 9 man is basically dead, and yeah, you really want to see 7 man, I think.
yes. Lao here in Tempai for Reach Tanyao Dora Dora. So that's a scary
Mm,
hand. It's so 8-mon. 8-mon is being taken by. Oh god, I actually see a death symbol potentially because if
yeah,
if
if
five
I
draws
manages
this
the Sentai,
if
it's
five draws a 7
all
pin,
over.
he's stuffed.
Yeah, it's
Oh, saved.
yeah, that's best case scenario. Best case scenario
And
for
oh no, what horrible
yeah,
timing.
that's that's definitely an error, I think.
Unfortunate for Visa, just as 5 gets into Tempai, he does take a Haname run directly off of Visa. So, I mean, that's just good everywhere for them. 5 avoided dealing in. Now he's just not even in last place. This is good.
Yeah, that was great for 5. A small error coming from Visa, forgetting the fact that, Lau isn't the only one pushing here. It's someone with 2 calls and a 6-pin push into dealer Ricci.
Mm,
Kamicha is definitely doing something spicy, but as we always say, your dealership's coming up, there's time to recover. So last place right now, but third place isn't all too far away. And with your dealership, second place, even first place is still within reach. So Visa shouldn't be giving up just yet. With this
mm,
hand as well, Friso gets them right back into the game.
yes.
Unfortunately, not finding what they need, but their actual UK count isn't all too high considering they're Ishan 10.
Mm. Uh,
10 oh
10.
no, Ishan 10. No,
No, no,
Tenpai.
Tenpai, Tenpai,
Sunsoft.
Tenpai.
Yeah, Sunsoft
Yes.
Tenpai.
2 Dora, no need to mess around. 3 is the best weight, but even taking the memes aside, no need to mess around. With 2 Dora, the 5200 puts you even in a pretty nice position for first place, really.
Hmm.
Especially if you
There's only
smell it.
one left in the wall,
Yes, there is only one left in the
awkwardly
wall,
enough.
unfortunately. But from Visa's perspective, you don't really. I mean, you could wait, but I don't think you should. Like, I know, I know
Uh,
you shouldn't. You shouldn't wait.
this is probably an ironclad reach.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
it's good enough, and I don't remember the exact stats on it, but if you reject a Tenpai, you take up to what, like 7 turns to get back into Tenpai, and you don't have the time to wait here. So, yeah, we're on time.
Oh my god. This just in from the other table. The other table is still at East 2, I think.
It's gonna be a long night.
More importantly, is that one of the players is dominating on the other table.
Well, if you're only in East 2, there's obviously some kind of
Yes,
domination happening here.
yes, but it's Powerpuff Boys. And remember what I said yesterday? If you're going to suspect someone making a salty run
Uh,
back, it'll be Powerpuff Boys. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If Powerpuff Boys is in the finals, I predicted it first. I want it on the record.
you heard it here first. Yeah, we're going to have to pop in after this game, but it's oh boy, South 2 domination is definitely East 2 domination is definitely what you're looking for in their position.
So what are the players choosing? Lao is taking seems like a harder forward route. Not super. No, sorry, not a super hard forward route. Choosing to trust the 6-man really, which is a bit. Oh, sorry, 6-man came out of Chewy's. I guess Lao is just full folding here. Where's that last 3 sir? Still on the wall. No Suji traps are being set, unfortunately. Can't draw the 6 to discard. And Suji on the 3s are actually incredibly, like, not even close to safe. I think statistically, Ozzy has something where they're like some of the most dangerous tiles, ironically.
Which one?
Suji onto 3s. So like a 6
Oh yeah,
with 3 Suji or something like that is like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
barely even Suji. It's just death.
Oh, the half Sujis are basically Musuji most of the time.
Well, this is not half Suji, it's full Suji, right? So 6-0 comes out. And so Visa does only Tenpai does get 1,000 points for everyone. Putting them no, sorry, no, definitely not putting them into not last. Moving us along to South 4. So, what are the game plans here?
Oh, I think there are clearly defined goals here. Chewy needs to win fast. Their first place isn't actually guaranteed here. Lao needs to win. I think it's like a Mangan Sumo.
Isn't it even a
Um,
1-3-2-6 tomorrow?
it might be.
Oh no, sorry.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Mangan Sumo.
basically a Mangan Sumo.
Yep.
5 is in the same situation. Mangan Sumo to get to second place, and these are you're fine with winning anything in Visa's situation.
Yep, and he does have the hand for it already. 2 Shanten for Pinfu, Tanyao, Sanshoku even.
5 is also Ishanten now, I think though. No, 2 Shanten. There's no head in there. Oh no, I'm slow. That's actually Ishanten.
Yes, but it's a very awkward Ishan 10, unless he ends up being Tunky on the Green Dragon, which would be super, super scary.
Hunky on Hearts is would be pretty good, considering the situation here. Visa's always pushing, so if they draw into the Hearts, you're basically winning.
Oh, Tenpai
Or
for
or
5.
or you do that and reach anyway.
Dama. Ooh, Dama. Whoa, Dama.
Hmm.
Uh,
This might.
Whoa, Visa cut the 3-pin? That's weird. Oh wait, holy crap! Draws the third Hatsu. Now can
All right. So
Dharma
you
tuck
you
in the
reach
3-say?
now. You reach now and waiting on free say, or you free say. So Huts Dora Dora, is that enough to get into second place? I don't
Well, I
believe
mean,
it
if you're
is.
gonna reach it, I guess.
Well, if you reach, it's obviously enough to get to second place.
The Tsumo was enough before, because it would be Hatsu Dora Dora Tsumo, which would have been 2000, 4000, which would have been enough to get to
Hmm.
second place.
What about an indirect run? I don't think it would have been enough on an indirect run, so this reach has to come out, I think.
I find 3-pin a very poor cut from Visa, considering it actually just tanked the Ukiyoe down a lot. You go
Yeah.
headless Ishan 10 and you're waiting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 man, 5, 6, 7, 8 pin.
Yeah, it was definitely a small miscalculation coming from Visa, thinking that, well, my hand's actually really good. I don't actually need the free pin unco. I can just confirm my pair now. But yeah, as you said, does tank Izuke.
Oh, oh god. That's a Tsumo from 5. Reached Tsumo Hatsu Dora Dora. Mangan puts them to second place. That's very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, there's nothing much to say about that.
no,
Like,
not at all.
an early Hanuman Ron basically gets Chui first place here. Good defensive play after that secured the first place. But you know what? The big thing to talk about this game was Five making a run back from what, like 4,000, or was it minus 4,000? I think they were actually negative.
Yeah. They
So
were minus
yeah,
4,000 up to second place. Very, very good.
yeah, the very important win as well. So
Yeah,
turning things from a dire situation into a good situation was important there.
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. Do we have
we'll
Chewy on? I'll go through the
we'll
log.
come to Chewy in now. Hello, Chewy.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello, hello.
congrats on your
Yeah.
win. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so let's get right into it, right? The East one, Dealer Hanuman, was this in your eyes, was it always Honitsu, or were you considering that you could maybe go for something a little bit more standard?
I'm only floating the 7-pin for the Akka 5-pin, but like
Yeah.
nothing else basically.
Yeah,
So
so
that's why I broke the
basically,
Penchan first instead of dropping the 7-pin first.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's like almost always Honitsu. And my shapes are really, really good. I was just not going to meld at all. Like even if the North came out, I'd just skip it and probably like Menhon Chitoy potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise I would just so if the North came out or the 9-man came out, I might just like Dharma or something because my weight is worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well because I tempied while there was still 3 outs left, then it's okay to.
was there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
was there consideration to Dharma and go for Chinitsu? Even Chinitsu Aqua 1,
Uh,
even open, would have been a more could have been a wider weight guaranteed
well,
Haneman.
I get 2 Han from the open Chinitsu compared to the Menhon, but I lose the one for the Ipeko and the Ricci, so it's like the same value. It's not like it could have been wider weight, but I can just Ricci this. Also, I already saw Lao Sao just drop a 7-man, so he might just get doomed when he draws the 9-man.
Yep, fair enough, fair enough. So we sort of saw that towards I want to say the rest of the Hanchan, really, there was a sort of a conservatism line. So I think the big one that we were wondering about. Oh, actually, no, here, I'm curious about your mindset. So here you got offered the option of going for Tanyao Dora, or going for Chinitsu Dora. Um, and we saw that you took the line of cutting the 4-pin in order to be able to call the 8-pin or the 2-pin, or even call something like a 4-man or a 6-man. What was your sort of like? What was your mindset sort of here? Did you think that like maybe the Tanya Pinfu wasn't good enough, or it wasn't like easily as achievable as conning the 8-pin or the 2-pin and going for that Tanya Dora Dora, or just bring us through like what were you thinking? You thinking like maybe like I don't want to overgreed. I'm already in the lead. I'm going to take the more
Oh,
guaranteed money down.
I drop 4-pin here because I don't want to help speed up Last of Us hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a 3-pin uncle. If he needs 3-pin in his hand, he's really screwed.
Mm-hmm.
So I just drop 4-pin because he doesn't need it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. So I can just play normally. Of course, I lose the absorption on the 1P,
Mm-hmm.
but the 2P is not that bad. And yeah, he's already open. I don't need to feed him. Yeah.
Don't you lose
like
more
like
than the
I do.
absorption on the 3-pin there? Because you lose 3, 6, 9-pin as absorption by cutting the 4-pin.
Yeah, I think I could potentially just drop 3-pin here, but I don't think I can cut all the Manzu, because if I cut the Manzu, I'm just gonna feed his middle tiles, and he's just gonna meld everything.
Yep, fair enough. I was just wondering,
So I think
like
there is
was
an
it like you were
argument to
just trying
cut
to
3-pin
slow
here.
down, and was there an argument to, say, well, my hand is so massive and allow if he's pushing, he might just give me calls anyway, so I could go for the Chinitsu. A question sort of along those lines. But yeah, fair enough. It's a very mature decision to, um, consider the players around you and sort of take your higher odds based around that. So yeah, fair enough. And I think there was one other thing. Do you remember when that skip on the? Oh yeah, here.
Yeah, he's 2.
Yep. So we were wondering about the skip on the ton, and my theory was that perhaps you didn't want to make your hand vulnerable, that you were already in a nice lead, that you didn't want to push your hand forward with awkward shapes. Was that the reasoning behind the skip?
Yeah, the hand shape is a little poor, so it's not that good to. Well, I think it's a little bit vulnerable to push. Because if I for example meld
Mm-hmm.
and play thin, then
Mm-hmm.
I'll literally need to fill in 3 Hanchans. For example, if I meld and hold safe tiles while having a melded hand, my hand is like still extremely slow while melded. So I
Yep.
just hope to draw the Kanchan first.
Yep.
If I draw some of the Kanchan first, especially the 5-pin, or the other option is I could just chi the 5-pin, right?
Yep.
And then I can potentially progress after.
Yep. That makes sense. Yep. I think the rest of the Hanchan was mostly you watching things happen around you.
Yeah, I think my perspective, this Hanchan was not interesting. It was Five's perspective that was quite interesting. The like little squiggly symbol guy. He was like what -4,000, and then he got all the way back up to get second.
Yep. But yeah, congrats on your win. This is a nice padding as well. Putting with Chomba and Nami putting into 3rd place. This puts you a lot closer to getting into 1st. So congrats. Yeah, congratulations.
Not that interesting from my perspective.
No, there were a few interesting plays. They mostly happened in the East rounds though, and towards the South rounds, you really had nothing to do. So there wasn't much to do at that point. So, but it was still like good plays at the start. High greed, conservatism rewarded you very kindly towards the end of the Hanchan. So, well deserved 1st place. Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
I am. Are we good to go to the other Hanchan SPT?
Yeah, just jump. Yeah, just jump to the next Hanchan.
Sweet. They just hit East 3.
It's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a long night. Alright, let's see the death and destruction. So, last I saw, yep, alright. So, we do enter this Hanchan with Dora Tuso. As of the current seedings, it's Miku 39 in the East seat, Wallaby or Gudetama, I believe.
Whoa, yeah. So Dr. Dox in the east seat or Zerking, Miku in the south seat, Gudetama or Wallaby in the west seat, and Illegal in the north seat. Before you said we exited, what? Wait, what? I'm so confused. There's like 8 Honda.
So we do have a one-sided destruction from Miku39, who, as I said before, was on Powerpuff Boys, and if you're going to predict a dark horse coming from the end of the pack to go to first.
I remember saying something about like needing 100-point hands, and this is
This is
very
doing
close.
it. This is doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the big thing here is first, like there are no guarantees in Mahjong, right? But first is basically guaranteed here. It's just how big your first is going to be.
Oh god.
Probably stay inside tomorrow, Miku. Don't get hit by a bus.
Miku39 does have a Tudora Paku pair. Pawn from Wallaby. Toy Toy, I believe. That'd be my guess, anyways. Oh, never mind. It's Chinitsu. How could I forget the other hand? We see a lot of Dora here for Illegal. But still, I think roughly 2 Shanten, I think.
Yeah, my eyes are more on Wallaby's hand here. Like, you know, Mungan Dora East usually is pretty good. However, at minus 14,000, you're gonna take anything.
Hey, we literally just saw someone salty run back from minus 4,000 to second place, so...
You see, minus 4,000 is one thing, my dude. Minus 14,000 on the other hand?
Ricci from Miku39. Unfortunately, their 3-mine is dead.
Is that unfortunate, or is that like let's thank God got us out of here?
Tenpai for Illegal. We'll have to cut the Aka 5 pin into the dealer. Does not willing to do it.
Yeah, it's funnily enough, like 15,000 second place is good enough.
Wait, he just gets back into Tenpai.
Now, the best case scenario here is the putts Ron directly on first place. Didn't happen. Unfortunate, but whatever. And Zoking's kind of just folded out here.
Oh, sorry, I actually don't know. Khan of the 5.
Yeah, nothing much to say.
Yeah, it's a battle of will Wallaby draw a... Oh, I don't even know what Wallaby could draw here. That would doom him.
Well, yeah, there really isn't.
Oh no! Oh no, Wallaby! Oh no! Does deal in on the Forza reach Ipeiko Dora-san. Nice 8,000 points. Dooming them further, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thankfully for them, the team is in a position where they can take a loss like that and still potentially qualify for finals.
Actually, that's an interesting thing. If their team goes down, I mean, their team is only 40 points from Tower Dreaming, who's in 4th place. If this Hanchan continues in the trajectory it is, they will be the new 4th place, which is not really where you want to be.
It's definitely not where you want to be. However, it's also you're still there.
Yes, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so it's obviously you don't want to be in a position where you can get relegated. Well, not relegated, like where you can get kicked out of qualification, but you are still within qualification, which can influence how others play around you. So, not the best case scenario in the world, but it's still all right.
Oh, look at our left. Look at Illegal's hand. That's illegal.
That's
so illegal. Did you see the draws? I think he drew like I swear he drew like just a series of draws that continued to this very, very nice white shape.
I'm just going to double check to be sure that no one from this game is playing the next game. Because I may have to contact the teams and hit them up for subs.
We should check actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
Thankfully, no one. So we will be running mostly on time tonight.
Mm-mm.
So we see Tenpai for Wallaby here. Dealership Kanchan free pin. No value though.
Mm.
That said, the reach itself is the value.
Oh, and Tenpai here for illegal, waiting for the 5-8 pin if they choose to reach on the 2-man, which they do not.
Wee.
Interesting.
Yeah, so in a flat point situation, that's probably always a reach. Reach Dora, actually, well, not always a reach, but reach Dora is typically good enough to chase with. Considerations to make are like it's dealer, so you kind of don't want to deal into that, even if 2-man doesn't look safe at all. But you don't want to be dealing into dealer here, considering that dealer is also 1 last place and 2 first place is so far away that even if you win this hand, you're not coming back. So I actually think this might be a good situational fold coming out from illegal.
Legal does actually Mawashi themselves into Tenpai, waiting for the 5-8 pin. However, they do not have any Yaku, and they will need to Sumo it, and will need to Sumo it because they choose not to Richi, waiting for the 5-8 pin. Hence why they couldn't win off of that tile. However, their light is more live than Wallaby's weight is right now.
Yeah, even with like 4 of their tiles actually in the pond, it's still possible to actually get the tiles. So the big interesting point here is what's going to happen if Zoking or Dr. Doc's Tenpais, are they going to push for second or are they going to respect dealer? With the 6-pin cut, they're likely going to deal in here if they Tenpai.
Yes. Yeah, and I think also with the team's position, it's almost unfeasible to fold. Can't for fun, right?
Yeah, so Dr. Docs or Zoking is on Kun for fun. Now, the big thing is that are you always pushing or are you playing more aggressively? Because there is a slight difference there. Always pushing backfires more often than not. So I'd be definitely interested to see what their team discussions have been like.
Oh, I'm sorry, the stream went down for a little bit. So the 3-pin does come out from Zoking and does deal into Wallaby for Richi. Was that a Richi Nami? 2,000 points?
I believe so. It reached nothing, yeah.
Yep.
We did see the Tenpai, well, at least I hope the stream saw because I didn't get to see. But there was a Tenpai from Zoking which led into a deal in as we discussed earlier. So East 3, 1 Honda now. How much do you bet that this game is still going to be going on while the game from round 2 finishes?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I really don't. I'm actually curious. Are we going to continue watching this, or are we going to start a fresh game?
I feel like we should probably jump into the other game.
Yes, completely fair
But
enough.
I will keep an eye on this and look into and keep track of whether or not this game actually ends.
There is no end. There is only death. In that case, I'll update if you could take over the commentary, I'll update the text for the game we're going to watch next.
Yeah. So there is so Dora is currently Haku, 1 in illegal and Zoking's hands respectively. And Anko of the West for Miku kinda positions their hand in a nice situation. They can push pretty hard with a fallback plan later on because West basically never deals into anyone here. Wallaby will be looking to win pretty fast and pretty hard. The hand is actually in a pretty nice position to do so as well. So there's good opportunity there. But Miku, when you're winning pressure advantage, it reaches pretty early on 3 6-man wait, reached Dora 1. Little bit vulnerable in Zoking's hand here. However, that 1-man draw probably should prevent him from dealing in. 2 3-mans present in Legal's hand, but they're not the most vulnerable thing in the world unless he happens to draw maybe 4-man, 1-man. But yeah, unlikely to see him deal in here, especially with how they're playing right now. Zoking is probably out the hand. The Haku is pretty much stranded. You really don't want to be cutting Dora into this. But as Jay discussed earlier, your team is in a position where you kind of have to push. So we'll keep track of what happens there. Another Sansa. 8 so looks like an alright discard here. Surely not 6-man. Sansa comes back out. And 6-man Summa here for Miku. It's a little bit of a slow roll, but whatever. Just utter domination here and like rubbing salt into the wound of Wallaby here. The Oyakaburi, Richi Sumo Aka Uradora 1 for even more salt. So yeah, Miku 95,000, possibly hitting 100,000 this game. And meanwhile, Wallaby in the dumps. If I told you he was at 27,000, you'd be like, yeah, whatever. It's all right. And then I tell you he's at negative 27,000 and you get a little bit worried.
Yes, just a little bit. Because at the current points, I believe you're on minus 87.2 currently, assuming Wallaby doesn't gain or lose any more points, and that puts you firmly in fourth place.
You're not comfortable with that at all.
Yes, so yeah, so we'll have to. No, you really can't be comfortable with that at all.
There's nothing much to say. There's you got to start going now.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're kind of speechless here because I mean, there's not really much to say. This is just quite a scary Hanchan for everyone here, really. Well, maybe not for illegal. They put themselves into a very nice second place. They are 20,000 points from third place, and you can't really complain too much about that.
Yeah, so illegal is definitely pretty comfortable here. You're looking to either you want to win a hand, so Among Sumo doesn't put you into panic mode from third place. But yeah, other than that, second place is looking pretty good for illegal here, and likewise, third place is looking pretty good for Zoking. The thing is, you can't take third places in Zoking situations.
You cannot.
Yeah, you'd definitely be wanting to have that 95,000 game. But yeah, there's nothing much you can do. There's you kind of just have to start winning hands and hope that one of your teammates pull through at this point.
Yep. So a 3-man draw from Wallaby does start giving their hand some fangs, really. Tanyao, San, Shokudora 1, Pinfu, if they can draw the 4-pin. And then all of a sudden, you're back in action. Oh, no. 7-pin at the worst possible timing. That's. I suppose you don't really want it either. I guess you want Tenpai no matter what, but I mean, you kind of want at least Tanyao because you're really in the dirt right now.
Yeah, you're in the dumps and you're not sure how to get out.
Yeah. In terms of other players, what do we have here? Is Shantan still for Zoking? Had the option of taking it and going for Sunshock or Dora Dora. Does skip and draws into the 4-man themselves. They end up on the 5-8 so 8 for Reach Pinfu Dora Dora, which is really, really nice. How much respect will the other players give this, though? Seems to be... So 9-pin Genputsu is nothing. Force Surf push from Wallaby means that Wallaby neither cares and admittedly neither can afford to care in this position.
Yeah, this is definitely kind of interesting because this would come down to a team strategy, and unfortunately, I don't think many teams would have discussed what happens if minus 30,000. Do you want me to just push ahead, or do you want me to reel back and try to minimize the losses?
Whoa, 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 whoa! That can't be correct. Wallaby just gave up Sanchoku.
Yeah, that's. Are we missing a
They
free
would have
10?
run off the 4-pin. Oh no!
We're missing a free 10 or something. No, we're not. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that is.
Whoa!
If you're gonna dumber, you gotta take that Sunshoku.
Yeah, that just can't be that. Oh, okay. Well, okay, that's 2-person Tenpai from Wallaby and Zoking moving us along to South 1. Very nice Haite avoid for illegal called so that the Haite would not go to Zoking. But that I don't really know what to say to that. That can't be.
There is a possibility that they were looking to capitalize on a Nakasuji line. However, no, you gotta take that Sunshoku.
And also 4-pin was Genbutsu. It was complete safe.
Yeah. Like if you're gonna dumber, you take the better weight, I think.
I would have actually not even disliked a Riichi into it. Reach
I would.
Sanshoku, Tanya, Dora Dora, Hanuman. I mean, in this position, you kind of need that. But unfortunate for Wallaby doesn't get their hand. We will be queuing into the other game, so I think this will be the last hand we're looking at for this Hanchan. And I really hope this doesn't. If this ends with Spice, I'm gonna be very, very sad. If this ends with like a Sanbaimon sumo from Wallaby, and then we move on to the other game, I'm gonna be biting my nails.
So Dora Dora for Zoking here is definitely what you want to be seeing during your dealership, but the Kun 8-man is not what you want to see when you already hold the 667.
Yeah, so a few conflicting feelings. That Khan definitely gave your hand almost all of its value. However, yeah, as you say, 8-man Khan while you're holding the 667 is not ideal.
Yeah, there's definitely maybe a calling line here. You could call like, pawn 4-man, throw 2-man, and play by ear. Like even this 6-man might be a pawn here.
And it is a pawn.
There is a pawn.
Yeah. Miko Tayana has elected to go for a Atozuke Kawashite, I believe. Oh, it's not even Kawashite, it's got 2 Dora.
Pawn.
So pawn puts him to Tenpai for 4-7 pin. I don't know what to say.
I almost want to say please win because I want to see 100,000, but I also want to let the lads go home tonight.
Again, I mean, like, I'm happy with this outcome because it'll prove my claim.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you are right.
Tenpai for Wallaby on the Pen 7-pin for Reach Dora Dora Itsu.
Yeah, Reach Itsu Dora Dora is definitely what you want to be coming back into the game with.
Now the question is, how hard is Miku39 going to push into this? Because he does have an incentive. He can justify wanting to plant Wallaby into the dirt. And also, interestingly, if the 7-pin comes out from... I don't know. I don't think either of them would cut it. But if Illegal cut the 7-pin, it would actually only deal into 3,900 from Miku39.
Yeah. There's
head bump.
There's a lot of salt happening here.
Oh
no.
Pin
Oh no.
does deal into Miku39, giving them the Green Dragon and 2 Dora, 3,900. And moves us to South 2, and we will be exiting this Hancha, but they
100K!
broke the 100,000! Congrats, Mika 39. Alright, we're gonna go to the other
Yeah,
Hanchan.
and with that, we will be jumping into the other games, into the other feature match.
Yes.
However, for your viewing pleasure, I will try to keep tabs on the game and see what happens.
Where is it? This one. Yes. Oh, starting in 7 seconds. So, I imagine Nosti has to be keeping track. And Nosti has to know that their team is now no longer comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting to see how Nosti decides to play this game, knowing that even though the other game hasn't actually quite ended yet, his team is very uncomfortable with what the situation is. Now, we should also mention that Smiles is on Team Zomen Chikateras. I did not say that right, but I tried.
Yeah.
And Akarin is on Tile Dreaming. So this game is suddenly very important.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Like, I would almost say McGinnis' team is also not out of the action, but the spice definitely lies with Akarin, Smiles, and Nosti's teams, because any direct hits you get off of them is humongous in terms of moving you forward. We saw the McGinnis did actually open this hand Ishan 10, and it's still Ishan 10. Very nice. Two-sided Ramen Ishan 10 for reach pin Fudora 1 as the dealer. You really can't complain. You can't complain about that at all.
Definitely. His yeah, this hand's just great. There's unfortunately there's as Sun Shoku E as it looks, it won't quite get to Sun Shoku. But you know, Tenpai here, reach pin Fudora is good enough. So this should be a reach, and a reach does come out.
And now we have to see how far the Smiles dig into McGinra here. Decision will come later. It'll come on the 4, so that comes out if they draw into Tenpai, and they do dig in, so they want to fight with this Haku Dora Dora, even though the weight is not great. So maybe we're gonna see what
The
happens.
weight's not great, but it's definitely one of those hands where it's just like, I gotta push this. My team needs the points. Now, a interesting conversion point here can switch to weight on the Dora and the 9-pin, and does.
Yep.
I'm not sure about this. You know, for those who did attend that Genki Hirasawa lecture this morning, did mention that if you are waiting for a if you are waiting on a Kanchan / Penchan versus a Shanpon, you should probably take the Shanpon because there's more winning opportunities. But one of the Shanpon happened to be Dora. In this case, it worked out great because they switched into a runman here. So 4-7-pin. The hand suddenly got very deadly very quickly.
Yes. Still wondering where all these tiles are. 6-9, so still 4 left, and 4-7-pin is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 left. We're hitting the final row. Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's despair. Smiles probably knows this deal's in, but has to push it anyway, and
does deal
sigh
in?
of relief for Meginra.
Yasume, right? Doesn't deal the Uradora side.
I mean, technically yes, but I'm not sure if that's how it works.
Yes. I mean, like, obviously you can't know, but you take the hindsight as 2020 option. SBT, someone's asking if we have a link to the standings. Do we have a shareable spreadsheet that we can have as just viewing only?
We do not have a public link. However, I will work on that very quickly.
Okay, thank you very much. Entering East 1-1, McGinnis dealership stays on. Looking around the board, Haku Dora, Akarian and Smiles are holding one copy of the Haku Dora, and both holding one Akadora. We'll have to wondering, these situations often get down to like, well, in terms of exclusivity, like either Smiles or Akarin will draw a Dora, and they'll be in a really nice position because they can pond the Dora, or a player like McGinra or Nosti will draw a Dora, and then you have an awkward 3 people holding one Dora and playing that Mexican standoff music of who will cut it first, and it is Akarin who once they got into Ishan 10 was willing to cut the Haku Dora. So they are in Ishan 10 for San Anko if they can draw the 1-pin, 6-pin Shah. But it's kind of feels bad because you offload 2 Dora in the process, but it's a guaranteed Yaku potential was better than, maybe if kind of thing. Let's see. Cheat Toy Ishan 10 for Smiles. And does progress closer to that Chitoy or even Sananko or Suanko, really, or even Ryang Peiko if this hand goes weird. It has to be very weird. Smiles does not opt to open the 9-pin here, choosing to keep close and keep that Chitoy chance. So a bit of a sidewards, a bit different from how we've been seeing the other players play, where they're more open heavy on that Toy. Does get into Tenpai, and that's a really good weight. 1 cut Haku, that's incredibly vulnerable in people's hands if they choose to Dharma it, which they do choose to Dharma it. So they are now in Tenpai for Chitoy Dora 3, and that Haku is super scary if maybe even someone like Akarin draws it, thinking that no one pondered and maybe it's a bit safer than usual. And if they sumo it, it's a Haneman anyways, so yikes.
Yikes indeed, I think.
And they choose the Tsumogiri Richi cutting the 3, so I'm confused. It puts the hand up to a Hanuman run, so I'm not saying it's not understandable, but I'm not quite sure why it's a Tsumogiri Richi. That's all. Not important. So we'll see how the other players go. That Haku is 2 left in the wall, and if they can sumo it, that's huge. That's scary. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Akarin full folding seems cutting the 7, so not wanting to deal with whatever is going on from Smiles here. Still 2 Haku left in the wall. Don't tell me that the dead wall is going to eat 2 Hakus.
That'd be a little sad.
Chi from Nosti going for an Asapin K10. Spicy.
Yeah, this is it's definitely a I can't afford to lose points, even if it's only 1,000 or 1,500 here. So yeah, the push does come through.
Asapin would be proud.
On the right side, Tuso is probably safe enough to push into this anyway.
Yes.
7-man also pretty good. It is Genbutsu.
The 9-man is a bit of an awkward tile. It is a 1 chance off of the 7-man, but I'm sure Nosti knows that 1 chances this late don't mean too much. But the 6-man will definitely make it easier to cut. So does come out, and he puts himself successfully into Keishiki Tenpai.
Now the goal is to stay in Keishiki Tenpai without dealing in.
Yes, and we'll have to weather 1 more draw, unfortunately. Where are the Hakus? Are they really both in the dead wall?
Oh, apparently.
Oh my god, they're both in the dead wall.
Oh,
That's
not what you want to see.
That is not what you want to see. So we do have a 2-person Tenpai, Nosti and Smiles. That's so sad.
It's definitely quite unfortunate, but so happens in Mahjong. East 2 now, Alkarin dealership. What are we looking at, Jay? We're looking at Dora, we're looking at nice shapes in the pins, nice shapes in the muns.
We're looking at...
I like that.
Yeah. Nosti has a fun hand. It's not a good one, but you could definitely get really creative.
Yeah, so there's Yaku Yaku in there, the West and the Green Dragon. There's Honetsu line technically somewhere in there. However, I expect Nosti to be playing this a little bit more standard considering he's got the Dora.
Mm.
So we might see kind of like a middle ground style push. If I happen to draw more pins, I'll go towards that Honetsu. However, I'm not going to keep loose honors for the purpose of going for Honetsu.
Mm. It does draw that Hatsu Anko, and this hand is shaping up very quickly to becoming a monster.
The confirming the Hatsu, either by Anko or Pon here, is actually quite an incentive to go for that.
You guys see,
Honet.
this is why you don't cut the 3 sir.
This is why you don't cut the freeze.
this is why. Come on, guys. We taught
So-
you better on the commentary desk than to cut the 3 sir.
Sanso is completely dead now. Weirdly.
Ishan 10 for Akarin. Very, very nice hand as well. Looks like what, reached Doradora chance?
Meanwhile, Nosti manages to cheer 5-pin here, puts himself into Ishan 10. Likely going to be some kind of West Huts or West Green Dragon Dora wait, probably. Maybe even just Green Dragon West Dora, but definitely hoping to find another copy of the Dora to drag his team out.
Or that. That works too.
The thing is, are you even happy with this?
Of course. What? This is East 2.
I guess
That's a 5,200 point hand. Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
guess
Now
fine.
it's a 6,400 point hand when you can't.
Okay, we're happy with this.
Yeah, we're very happy with this. Oh, look at that! Look at that! New Dora's a 3-star. What did I say? I'm telling you guys right now. You don't cut the 3-star. This is on you. Any losses? You were warned.
We were indeed warned.
So 5/8 Mon Tenpai for McGinra. Now Nosti picks up the really heavy tile and does choose to fold. See, unfortunately, Nosti did pick up the 9-pin into a 7-pin Ricci, and that's a lot more dangerous than your average tile. And with the Kandora and the Uradora, extra Kan Uradora makes Nosti believe it's too heavy to push a 9-pin. It does fold with 2 Hatsus.
An unfortunate fold, but pretty disciplined fold, I think.
I think it's almost so. You play much poker, SBT?
I'm not a poker guy at all, but do go on.
So there's this mentality in poker where it's called the money bubble, right? And so what happens is that like only a certain amount of players will get into the money, right? And normally when you get into the money, you get your buyback. So you buy your whatever money you put into getting into a tournament, you get back, right?
Oh yeah. So the bubble of qualification.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so what can happen is that as that bubble gets closer, players who are maybe not marginal but like moderate into it will start to play more conservatively. Oh, you hate to see that 8-man pop card.
Oi.
What the hell is going on? I am so confused.
So this is the second time we've seen an
no.
8. Oh my god.
I'm gonna finish my talk later. This is so spicy.
Yeah. Bubble, conservative, play, whatever. This is not conservative. This is lit.
This is lit indeed, and Akarin does pick up the 6-man sumoing, and yeah, that's all. That's a big hand to sumo.
Yeah,
oh god, that's
Reach sumo, Dora 2, red Ura 2, dealer Hanuman.
That is a
3
very,
reach
very big
6
hand.
and 2 Honda, 21,000 points.
Yes, that is very, very big.
Pile Dreaming setting up for big lines here.
So what I was trying to say was that with what happens is that as you get into tournaments and people are at the bubble, so they're close to getting into, like say, a finals or even getting into the money, they start playing more conservatively. And for players who are well above or well below, they can use this chance to play aggressively. and take money from people who would otherwise play more conservatively. And so I think we actually saw an example of that where perhaps, yes, Nosti had 3 tiles to fold with on the Hatsu, and the 9-pin was a bit heavy, but like more often than not, where do you go from that point? And he sort of was a bit leaned on, and so I think that's a super interesting mechanic because like I would imagine in a flat point situation where there is no team standing at all, Nosti may have just decided to push that tile in, I think.
Mm. Alright, so this just in from the other game. South 4 finally ends with a double reach sumo chi toy. So that's an extra 10,000 points for Zoking, who finishes off the game in actually third place there. So the big news story of tonight, Miku39 finishes a game with the first 100,000 plus score of the league. 102,800 to be exact, rounding at 122.8 points for Powerpuff Boys. Second place was Illegal, followed by Zoking and Wallaby at -99.
I think another huge thing is now if we look at the new standings, Flame Coast Evil Eye is the new fresh meat in 4th place.
Indeed. There's a lot of spice happening here.
Yes. Tenpai, however, for Nosti, determined to dig his team out of the hole that was created. 3 6-pin for Reach Tanyao. Yes, Reach Tanyao. Waiting on a 3 6-pin, which is really not it's not a objectively good weight, but in this particular case, there is only 1 6-pin left, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to get the last one, unless you see something aggressive from Smiles, who does decide to deal the 6-pin, unfortunately. So Reach Tanyao, 2,600. Very nice point boost. Not great, but nothing too shabby, I suppose.
Yeah, it's
So I want to bring in a dramatic irony that Nosti wanted Tile Dreaming to be in the top 4, and he said he wanted one team from each state on the top 4, and there were 2 New South Wales teams in the top 4.
he didn't specify his team.
So I put it on the record that maybe he cursed his own team.
I'm not sure I believe in this occult theory, but it technically is correct.
It's some nice dramatic irony. To answer your question, Supernova, it is a 3010 Uma with a 25,000 point start and a 30,000 return. So there is Oka. Pond of the South here from Nasty. Yeah, seeming just to take the Yakahai, cash and Dora and move on, I suppose.
It's definitely probably a also consideration of not only point standings but team standings as well. Tile Dreaming winning, not too big of an issue if they're already above you. However, you don't want Team Z to be catching you, so taking away dealership not only from last place but also Team Z is very important here.
Smiles is also collecting a pretty scary hand. If they can draw the... Oh, okay. Well, that makes it a bit of an easier decision, but does end up on the 5-man, 3-man. Wait, for Reach Dora. If they sumo it, it is San Anko, which is an instant dealer Bongun. And that's scary.
Yep.
That's 4,000 points all.
Yeah, so the 5-mans are dead. 3-man, one left? One left.
Yes.
So still alive.
Yep. I'm thinking about if there's any way Nosti gets rid of the 5-man, but I really don't see a reasonable way that Nosti can get rid of it.
No, there's no way.
I think it's like it would have to be like a 6-man draw drops the 8-so, then draws another 6-so. But I'm really like going through a lot of levels of convolution here. It's more than likely Nosti ends up keeping the 5-man. Yeah, so it really is waiting on the last 3-man because Beginner's hand does not naturally offload the 3 or 5-man. And if they decide to fold, you're not offloading it anyways.
Actually, 6-man might offload the 3-man for Miginra here.
6-man. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that's a very good point. Oh no, never mind. They seem to be taking a full fold route.
Yeah, pretty wise full fold route.
7-man draw for Nosti has a decision to if they want to play aggressive or not. Okay. So Nakatsuji, that's a little bit aggressive, not too aggressive, just a little bit. Does get into they're Ishan 10. What is an awkward tile for them? 8-so, 7-pin, something like that.
Yeah, 7-pin would be pretty awkward.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you'd offload the 8-man anyway. But yeah, 7-pin would be pretty awkward. 8-pin would be an optimal draw though.
And it seems like they're fully folding on the 3-pin draw. Bit too live in terms of Suji, especially into the last place.
Yeah, definitely. The 3-man does come.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was that 4-man wall, so that does come out and does win for Smiles. Win off of McGinra. Moving us to East 3. Oh my god, we're going to be here all night, aren't we?
Yeah, it's going to be a long night, so strap yourself in.
Also, I wanted on the record that Powerpuff Boys pulled themselves from the negatives after that Hanchan.
Yes, they did.
sorry. I want to lie in the prediction of the dark horse that I'd made.
So let's see. With 5 games left, I know this is a little bit off topic, but with 5 games left at 5.2, assuming other team placements do not change, they need like plus
20 on average per Hanchan?
20 on average, which is extremely possible. Now, considering that they've got a lot of games with both Notice Me Tenpai and Tyler Dreaming in the next week, this comeback is actually very possible. So, don't get too excited yet, Jay. But it is possible.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing it. We're getting into a very nice nail-biting last week. Hutspon from Nosti wanting to end this dealership by Smiles, especially because it's Team Z. They really don't want Team Z to be going on any sort of streak whatsoever.
Yeah.
Ishanten, two-sided Ramen does choose to cut the ton over the 8-so. I find that a little bit interesting, but perhaps it's so early they're even going for marginal speed improvements.
Yeah. Akarin also Ishanten here. It's like 1-man, 2-man, 4-man, 7-man, I believe. Even North is actually Tenpai's them as well. So pretty wide Tenpai shape here for Akarin as well. So we're looking at pretty nice hands here. Now, McGinray in a little awkward of a situation does have a Chunter hand, but nothing else in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could convert to Junshan, maybe? If you really squint. Never mind.
No, if you want to Junchan, you cut the Shahs instead of the 8-man, except, your Tenpai now, you take it. Does technically have Suji on the 3-man, but, it doesn't look threatening at all, so no one's going to be falling for a Suji trap here.
Chi from Nosti puts them into Tenpai 360 for Hatsu Nomi. Riichi from Akarin for the 4-7-man. Oh god, there are threats everywhere. Look at Smiles' hand. Oh god, Nosti drew the aparts.
Yeah, Smiles' hand lit up like a Christmas tree there. Nosti does manage to fold out, turning off a couple of the Christmas tree lights in Smiles' hand, and a sumo from Muginra. Yeah, so, West, Chunter, not the best thing in the world, but definitely much needed.
Absolutely. Moves us along to East 4. Very close point margins for everyone here. Yeah, pair of Yakuhais for McGinra, a pair of Yakuhai for Nosti. So, I mean, based on how not okay, never mind. With 2 Dora, he's definitely gonna be shiny button, have to click it kind of playstyle.
Double Dora here as well for Smiles. And a pretty fast looking hand as well. Definitely has a couple Tanyao possibilities if they want to go down that route. So, you know, this hand is shaping up to be a fight. Haku draw for McGinra as well. Ishan 10? No, 2 Shanten now.
Yep, 2 Shanten. Not a bad 2 Shanten because it's headless, so it redeems some of the awkward shapes. Unfortunately, that Kanchan 6-0 is already dead.
Indeed,
oh, okay, never mind. Again, awkward shapes being redeemed by the fact that it is headless, so...
Yeah, awkward shapes doesn't really matter if you draw into the shapes anyway.
Exactly. I wonder if McGinra will call a 7-pin or even a 1-4 man here.
Feel like they shouldn't, but they probably will anyway.
Well, I don't hate a 7-pin call.
7-pin is probably fine. I don't like 1-4 man. Maybe if another 2 of those tiles come out from like Toyman and Shimocha, you would then start to consider if it comes out from Kamicha to Chi, but at the current moment, probably not. Now, a decision point here for McGinra chooses not to switch to Shampon shapes in the bamboo, keeps the 7-pin acceptance alive.
Unfortunately, slight backfire, but...
Indeed. There was definitely maybe even like a Toy line there if they really wanted it, but it's a little late in the hand. Going for Toy wouldn't be the best thing in the world, and the 6-pin discard early unfortunately backfires here. Most of the time, if you have like a 6, 8, 9 shape, you would probably cut the 9, the terminal, because you can still pick up a 5-pin, and you know, unfortunate in this scenario, but not quite a backfire just yet. Lots of dancing around right now.
Chi from Smiles puts them into Tenpai for Tanya Dora. Richi here from Reginra. 1-4 man. Very, very strong weight, especially on the 1 man, because well, normally it doesn't look that easy to use. Unfortunately, Smiles does Tsumo on the 7 man, so Tanya Dora Tsumo. So 1,000, 2,000 point hand. Making this a very close race for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Akarin is still a bit out of range, but I mean, you know, all you need is one dealer Mungan, and all of a sudden, Akarin is now thrown back into the mix.
Importantly, there was actually an Oyakaburi on Nosti as well. So there's lots of like tiny little things you usually wouldn't consider on hands like that. But in the current situation, every single 1,000 point matters.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. Yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm actually like on the edge of my seat here. Like it's super scary, and it's actually like the teams that are playing. Like this Hanchan didn't actually look incredibly interesting, other than Akarin and sorry, this Hanchan looked more interesting for Akarin and Smiles before going into it. But then after that one huge point swing and the other one, all of a sudden every action of Nosti's has become very, very, very important. Ishan 10 for Akarin. Bit of a worthless hand, unfortunately. But if they draw a 1-man, they suddenly have Junchan chances. Which is pretty.
Weirdly enough, there was also a Junchan chance there for Nosti as well. Decided not to take it. There's just a lot of awkward hands floating around here. McGinra does take a pawn here, which makes his hand a little bit better now. The interesting discard comes right here, actually. Maybe 3-man, maybe 4-pin, maybe even likely not 1-man there, but was a consideration.
Mm.
3-man's a nice option considering 2 of the 2-mans are already dead. Another 3-man, but that's technically not a backfire unless you're going for like Toy or something.
Yeah. A bit of a pause here because Smiles is offered a Tempai in the counter on 6-0 and they do decide to take it. Reach Dora 1. McGinra not backing down.
Yeah, with point gaps this close, the reach is definitely very nice because more often than not, you'll scare a couple people away. You know, point gaps are so close. I don't want to deal in because if I deal in, my point gap becomes massive and I have to climb all the way back. But McGinra, you know, dealership will be pushing anyway. We see another reach coming from Akarin as well. One 4-pin,
One
4-pin
4-pin 9-man, but 9-man
Yeah.
is dead. 3 of the 4 pins are dead. He's holding 3 of the 1 pin, so that's a
This weight is
yikes.
actually not very good.
This weight is relying on the last 4 pin. And it
This
is
weight
drawn by McGinra.
This weight is actually very dead.
Unfortunately, though, McGinra does offload the 4 pin, and so, you know, it doesn't matter if you just win. So, does deal into reach Dora Aka for 5,200 points. Yeah, moves us along to South 2. South 2, yes.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, that doesn't actually change much considering the like the goals. Second place is still well within range of all three McGinra, Nosti, and Smiles. Like sure, Smiles and Nosti still have the dealerships coming up, so they can shoot for first, but McGinra is, you know, has a very set goal now, get out of last. Ooh, unfortunate backfire on a double draw of the Dora there for McGinra. Would have liked to maybe see like a 3-man cut or even a 9-pin cut there just to, you know, make use of the Dora, but playing the most efficient route possible here. Smiles seeing that 2 Dora already out cuts his copy. Akarin with a lot of pins might unlikely to go for the Honitsu rather, just because they've already got a completed shape in the Sozu. Probably just going to look to finish something off pretty quickly. McGinra opening up with the 8-man. I'm not exactly sure what's. What do you think's happening here, Jay?
I have no idea. I'm sorry, I don't know. Like, from the first Dora cut, I was a little bit confused because, yeah, you can't really afford to be that loose with the Dora.
And they might be playing on tilt.
Maybe.
I don't see the purpose of that 8-man pawn.
Maybe it's a Tanyao shift. That's my best guess. I think my best guess is a Tanyao or Toy shift.
Having to cut 1 3-pin and 9 pin?
Yeah.
And not keeping like 2-man or 3-man?
I don't. Yeah, again, it's not
playing on tilt.
I think it's a bit of tilt. I think that makes the most sense to me. Ishan 10 for Smiles. Yeah, Ishan 10 for Smiles. Sorry, I had nothing more to add to that sentence.
Yeah, well, you know, Ishan 10 for Smiles is actually very important here. Copy of the red 5 makes it so that they have a forcible hand. You know, especially currently in second place with third place with second place so close within reach. Any fighting shape is going to be a good shape here.
I find it interesting that Smiles skipped the Forso Chi. So they didn't end up trying to go to Tempai, waiting for the 5-8 but wanted to greed their hand out a little bit, and they do get rewarded for it, kind of. Yeah, I would say that's rewarded.
I like waiting there. Sure, like you could take the Tempai, but like Tanya Dora is not the best thing in the world. Sure, like reach Pinfu would be the same thing, or rather reach Dora would be the same thing, assuming you didn't have Pinfu here. But the reach does apply a little bit of pressure and maybe even forces Nosti out of the hand. So I
think-
like waiting.
I think though that like without seeing the hands though, you can justify making your hand a bit too slow. If you see like Muginra, like obviously from our perspective, Muginra's hand is a bit odd, but from Smile's perspective, you see those pawns and you have to be a little bit anxious about what's coming next.
I think you would be a little bit anxious, but considering that you see all of like the regular Dora and you already hold one of the red fives, the best that could happen is like Tanyao Toy, but looking at the discards, they're either already Tenpai or they're doing nothing at all. And yeah, so I think waiting there was fine, and it did pay off. But you do have a point. In an alternate universe, McGinra may have actually sumo a Tanyao Toy Dora Aka there.
Yeah.
And now an early West pawn from McGinra here. Not exactly sure how I feel about that as well. Dora cut as well.
I think it's a bit of tilt from Muginra, if I'm entirely
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, the tilt is definitely showing here. Might also be a reduction of losses. It's just like, okay, this game's not ours. We're not gonna catch. There's no way in hell we're catching first. So we'll move the game along and then fight for second and all last. Is possibly the line they're going for here.
The thing is, though, a 1,000 point hand doesn't particularly help you get out of last into all last because your margin. I can't, please, can't.
Kind of think you have
No!
to. My friend.
It's a disaster.
It's just, yeah, but small disaster.
Yes.
Recoverable disaster.
This is where, when you play your home games, you flip up the Kandora and you show that the Kandora is the south. So the Kandora indicator is the south, and you're like, my West Dora 4, what a disaster. So Nosti has a very... So Nosti is in Ishan 10. Yeah. Awkward shapes, but probably will not reject a Tenpai if they get there, because, well...
Yeah, extremely unlikely to reject the Temper here. Does actually have some shocky lines as well. Tanyao lines now as well.
Yep. Now they have the option to call a 3-pin or a 7-so.
Or even a 6-pin here. You can feasibly call a 6-pin as well here.
Absolutely. Or absorption as well, so really pretty good overall. As good as an awkward hand can get for Nosti.
Dora Aka for Smiles though. No sight of completing the hand anytime soon though.
Chi is interesting.
Chi is definitely interesting. So the big problem here is you're now headless.
Headless is okay when you have bad shapes, but you have good shapes. Smiles offered the 8-pin pawn, and they will take it, but they will not have an easy Yaku because they will need to get the 4-pin. I almost wonder if this pawn is out of fear. Can you force other players to be afraid enough to fold? Like, yeah, especially a player like Akarin, right? Like, Akarin, exactly, look at that. Akarin immediately cut the north out of the hand. So, it was a fear call. It was like, oh, hey, I have 3 Dora. What are you going to do? Give me tiles?
I don't know how effective it is, just because, like, McGinra is always going to be pushing here, right? Team's in a position where they need to go, currently in a position where you need to go as well. You don't want a dealer winning Dora 4 here, or you're never catching second place. Sorry, Dora 3 rather. So it might work against Nosti and Akarin. Actually, yeah, if it works against 2 players, that's good enough.
6-pin Tenpai for Nosti. I'm saying that with the... Oh, wow. I was saying that because Smiles had a chance to cut there was a not insignificant chance they would have to cut the 6-pin there, but they choose not to in favor of keeping that 4-4-5 shape, which kind of makes sense because you have the 8-pin pond. 7-pin drop from Nosti after drawing the 8-man figures it's too dangerous to try and push into this Tanya Dora-san. Well, visibly a Tanya Dora-san.
Tenpai now for Maginra. Hellweight Haku. What is this? West Aura? Yeah, West Aura.
Does Tsumo it, so that's very nice.
Spicy.
Nice. West Dora, 500, 1000. Not bad at all. With
Yeah,
the Oya Cabre there, less than 1,000 points. Oh wow, they were 100 points away from.
This is what I was talking about. It's just like, sure, the Coles aren't the best in the world, but it could actually be setting up for an all last fight here. Now, you put your opponents in a situation where they have to play uncomfortably.
Yes.
And who knows, McGinra might have trained for this.
So
yeah.
I'm trying to think about interesting point conversions here. So if Mugenra Sumo's a Mangan, Nosti and Smiles are equal last place and they will share Uma. If Mugenra hits Nosti for 2,000 points, they will also share Uma. And if Smiles, who has the most clear 2,000 point hand, most clear hand here, just Sumo as a Mangan, it will leave Mugenra in last place by 100 points. So,
yes, there's a lot riding on this this final hand here, and Smiles definitely seems to have an advantage with his current hand shape. Very nice early peep on. Nosti isn't all too far. Yeah, Tenpai now, but Nosti's not all too far behind. Still is Shanten, but a very easy way to get into Tenpai if they draw any of their respectable weights.
So if Smiles wins off of Akarin or Mugenra, which they do, they will take an equal second place. So this is our first ever Uma split.
Yeah, this rule basically never comes up.
Yeah, so this is an Uma split between Smiles and Nosti. So they will now share the Uma. So they're +0, I think, right? Because it's +10, -10. Share. So yeah, so they both like take a -11 points, -10.6, I believe.
Yeah, so it won't show on the MJS
Yes.
leaderboard here, just because I don't think the rule is programmed into the system in any way whatsoever. But on our end, we will make sure that the UMA is split. So
yes. So these
yeah.
two are. Do ignore this placement. This is not this. These two are equal second and third. So they will both share the Uma of second and third place. So that ends our Hanchan. Akarin in first, Smiles in second, Nosti in third, and Muginra in last place. Do we have an Akarin?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Fair enough. No, don't worry about it. The other Hanchan did also end fairly early, actually, I believe. Yeah, so the other Hanchan ended with Morova in first, Neppers in second, Visa in third, and wait, Maizuru in last. Doesn't that add so much spice? Wait, is Maizuru a part of AUNSW? Oh, they are. Oh my god. What's going on? This is so much spice.
Hello, Akarin. Welcome to the commentary desk, and congratulations on your big win there.
I
Now
can't
we
hear
can see
Akarin.
voice activity happening, but there's nothing actually coming through. No, we still can't hear you.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't get your mic working, we can take a statement.
Or we can wait. We've got a bunch of time, so we can do what we did last time. And if you need to go to a different platform, Akarin is typing, and I still cannot hear him. I see the Discord bubble glowing green,
Mm.
but like I literally can't hear. This is so awkward. I'm so sorry, guys. It just seems to be that there's not really a mic going on here. Did you want us to go through the replay and you can type your responses, or did you just want us to take a worded comment from you? We'll leave it up to you because I have no idea what's going on. I can't hear any of that. I'm sorry.
One
I
last
can't.
shot.
No, I can't hear that. Just do word then. All right, cool. So we saw that you got a very, very nice, very big Tsumo here, but the Tsumo was a little bit risky because you were facing down a Ricci, and you did sort of have to dig in a little bit with your do some sort of acrobatics. Is that the good word? Yeah, acrobatics. So we saw that you passed through the 5 here into this Ricci where there you could only see like half. You didn't have any confirmation on the 8 Was this a consideration in that you were dealer, your hand is pretty big? Sorry, what were your thoughts on that? Sakharin says, so I was having a big hand today, and I got destroyed by a 1 Han. So I've changed my player style to be more aggressive. Oh, I see. So a bit of a salty run back, I suppose. But yeah, other than that, we saw you reach a few of the hands moving forward. Can't exactly find them, but there were just a few reaches that didn't go through. Did you consider that with a lead you wanted to play more conservative, or was there, with your points, what did you think about doing with your lead? So Ricci is my bread and butter. There's a reason I was top point per winning hand. Okay. Yep, fair enough. Well, overall, nice plays. We saw a nice, solid sort of efficiency as well as defense, moving forward. So congrats on your win, and well deserved, and very important for Tile Dreaming. Puts them very far away from, very far away from fourth place. No longer the hanging, so to speak. Yeah, bad luck for Gudetama. Yes, so that was the game in which Wallaby unfortunately lost a few points. Yes, and we got 3 first places in a row. Yes, a very, very good streak for your team, and hopefully it sticks on until the finals. Good luck for. All right, there's a message. Good luck for Ariel. So we're going to. Yep. So thank you for coming on. Sorry about the technical issues. Yep. So we're going to take a small break going into the next Hanchan because that Hanchan already ended. So before we head off, we will look at the point score because I think it is very important that we look at how close all the points are as we move on to each round. So we'll look at the standings before we move on. So what we have here, if this is updated, it's being updated as we speak. So yes, wait, let me check. Yep, all right, I think that's everything filled in. So what we have is we do have the Tile Dreaming has taken over to 2nd place. So in terms of the big settings, we see Flamecrest Evil Eye being in the new vulnerable 4th position. And Notice Me Tenpai has gotten very, very close. Zamani Chiteridus is still a few points away from fourth place, but not an inconceivable amount. And Powerpuff Boys is a bit further, but again, a solid streak of Hanchans. We saw how Dreaming go from seventh place to second place in a few short days. So, yes, I think so. It would be interesting to see how how things are going to end. So I believe we're still sorting out ties, but we are going to take a break for 10 minutes and come back at 9:05. And so stick with us and join us then. Hello, welcome back. We are just entering this last Hanchan for the day, and what a big one. We have Notice Me Tenpai and Tile Dreaming and Powerpuff Boys in the same game, so man, this is going to be a spicy day.
Interestingly enough, we've also got Chumbo Nomi, who are quite, not firmly in first place. However, they're not going to be relaxing all too much because if tonight's games have been any indication, you can't ever let your guard down.
Agreed. So we do open up with Hughes in the east seat, Veggie in the south seat, Rariel on the west seat, and Osborne in the north seat. Dora is the one, so and immediately Hughes has opened up with 2 Dora and a Yaku chance.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Like it's Itsu chance, so you could easily call any of those tiles and just sit in Tenpai for a while as well. So
Oh my
yeah,
god, Veggie's got Chanta Haku chances? What the hell has happened?
Definitely turn the entertainment up to 11 here.
God. And Rariel's picked up a pretty nice hand as well. Not S tier. Oh, that's Tenpai. That's Tenpai for Chanta Haku.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
Richie.
I like it.
No,
like
but there's 3 9 pins stuck in Rariel's hand, so Veggie's already got a dead weight.
Yes, but Veggie does not know that.
So we do see a Ricci early on from Veggie, however, it is stuck because there are 3 9 pins in Rariel's hand, and so short of something horrendous for Rariel, so like a 6 pin comes out, say. and Rariel sees the 3 9 pins and thinks, oh, safety. This is disaster.
Yeah, definitely it actually even looks like Rariel is trying to fold out. So, running out of safe tiles could mean
oh, it does.
There it is.
No. Does deal into Reach Chanta Haku.
That's not something you see every day.
That is not something you see every day. What the hell has been happening? This entire day has been busted.
Yeah, so a great week for Tile Dreaming might come to a crashing end here if this first hand is a sign of what's to come. Yeah, Nosti kind of just rescinding his luck. It's just like, you're getting a little bit too lucky there. I need it back now.
And unfortunately, Hughes' hand never came together, which is kind of the saddest thing. Like, it was a very, very strong opening hand that got shut down by a turn 4 Ricci and got dealt into by turn 7.
Yeah. Now, we don't have a lot of time to rest. Dora 3 for Osbol. We've Dora 4 for Osbol now. We've once again Yaku chances.
8-pin fill! The 8-pin fill!
My god.
God.
It is the best tile to draw there. Now, another good tile to draw is 2 so for Osbol. Surely not. Okay, yeah, that's good. Now, I like to see spice, but I also like to see competition. And yeah, running away with the game doesn't lead to much competition, unfortunately.
Voz is in Tushan 10, a very pretty. Oh wait, is that Swanko? Look at Veggie.
He's going for it.
Oh, he's going for it.
Now, an interesting discard there would have been maybe 3 pin instead. Does float better Tenpai chances, but the 5-1 basically says,
oh, that's Swanko Tenpai.
I am hard committing to Swanko.
What the hell? Did you turn off the cheating stat in this game? I swear to God, the hands have been watching me.
You're not supposed to tell them about that.
Right. We rigged the table so that there is more interesting things to talk about. Oh my God! All right, so that's a Swanko. All right, so Swanko, waiting on the 6-man 8-man. 2 6-mans already eaten, but there are 8-mans, and also the Suji Trap on the 8-man is quite scary for Oz. Because Oz does actually have a hand here. So he may be willing to cut Suji. And
It's
actually, we see more than Suji.
Actually, I think. depending on how much they're looking to fight, 6-mon is actually a little bit vulnerable.
Tenpai here for Oz. Dora
This is
4.
you surely go here.
And he does go. So waiting for 4-7, so Gambitsu to the dealer. So 7 so could very easily come out from Rariel here.
Now I don't expect 7 so to come out in
But it does. But it does. Does deal in reach it parts Dora 4. So that's an easy Hanuman.
Yeah, and the Yakuman bounty is still out there.
Yes, it is still out there.
You know, I honestly wouldn't have expected to fill out the 100,000 bounty before the Yakuman bounty, but once again, what do I know?
Fair enough. I mean, like, you know, and this is also a very quick hunter. I've already moved on to East 3. Now we get a chance to breathe. These hands are more normal.
Yep. Lots of Dora across the board already, though. Like, 3 of the 8 pins already out in Veggie, Rario, and Ozbol's hand. 2 of the red. Wait. Rather, 1 of the Uckers in Ozbol's hand here. And an early 8-pin cut from Veggie. What are we looking to go for here, in your opinion?
I believe he's going for speed. So I think what's going on is Veggie is looking at the situation and being like, yes, the 8-9 pin is higher value, but I also don't want Rariel to have a dealership. So I will go for the faster play, and it means getting rid of a pin shot. Like, ignore the fact that the 8 pin is the Dora. You probably cut 8-9 pin fairly normally out of that hand.
Yeah.
So
and this 8, yeah. And the 8 so draw is also pretty interesting as well. Decides to hold on to it instead and cut the 3 pin. Tenpai here for Ipeiko.
Does he take? Oh, is he going to grade for round Peiko?
Now, there was Ranpeiko possibility if he happened to keep the 3 pin and maybe cut like 2-1 pin. But yeah, an early Tenpai like this is good enough to take. Do you see 4 weights already in Hughes' hands? So the difficulty of completing the hand just went up a little. Well, goes up a little bit rather, but you know it's still a good weight.
Especially because there's none of the weights in any of the other players' hands. Although Hughes is definitely playing weight collector here.
Well, you know, Veggie's looking for the 3 month anyway, so the 6 month going away doesn't really matter, right? Right. Right.
Yeah. You know, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't really work like that, but whatever.
And also, Hughes is a very defensive player, so I don't even see a chance of Hughes cutting the 3. Oh my god. This is when in those Mahjong movies you can the weights off, you can the 6 man.
Yeah, and you just deliver despair.
Exactly.
So 1 weight left somewhere in the wall for Veggie.
Oh, dude, Hughes may push. Oh, Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes' hand was suddenly in fighting condition. Chooses not to. Feel like you had to go at least. Well, you don't have to, but you should have maybe gone at least Chun there. 8-man comes out from Ozbol, enables Hughes to go 1 step forward here.
Now, I wonder what happens if Oz draws the 6 pin, like redraws into the 6 pin, because he will be in Ishan 10. Oh, sorry, he will be in Tenpai and can Khan the 3 so and go Khan Richi. But will he really want to release more Dora in their team's position?
Unlikely, I think. Oz, from what I've seen of his play, is also a little bit more on like the conservative end. So I don't feel like they'd make a play like that unless their back was against the wall. Now Veggie's weight is now completely dead. 3-6 month only Veggie Tenpai plus 1,000. So actually, you know what? If you look on the bright side, that's more points than he would have got if he won the hand.
Tactical, right? So if it comes out, you skip the win so that you can go for so you can go for the no 10 payments. You soul read everyone to see if they're folding, and then you just skip wins so you get more points.
Yeah, we're gonna disregard any Ura possibility because our hand is already worth more no 10.
All right, so we do enter the new East Fort. God, we are moving at light speed. Oz's dealership. Fedora's the Forso. One Dora for Veggie, Hughes, and Aurelial.
Forso is also very nice. Well, 4 in general is a very nice tile for the Dora to be very easily incorporated into hands. We see for Hughes's hand, however, Forso is actually a little bit awkward to incorporate. 6-so might change that. 5-so and 3-so obviously change that. But where they take the hand from here is going to be a little bit interesting. Veggie, on the other hand, already has it incorporated into the hand. Same for Rariel. So some hand here is going to finish with Adora. As of right now, not exactly sure who it might be.
Tenpai for Hughes.
What?
I think they'll clip a
Hughes?
9-1. Yeah. Sorry, I play
That's
with Hughes a lot, so I have more of a feeling in their playstyle, and they don't take these kinds of weights very often, not without Nidora. And
considering it's early enough, this is actually fair. You hold off a little bit and you incorporate the Dora into your hand. You could even draw like a 7-man, 5-man to incorporate Pinfu. So yeah, I don't mind this weight all too much.
Oh, there's the Pinfu.
Yeah, there's the 7-man. So this will probably be a reach. Yeah, it's a reach Pinfu. Red 5 is still somewhere in the wild. Veggie also cuts the Dora.
Not wanting to mess around with Hughes, I suppose, and Hughes almost does what Veggie wants him to do in that it passes on the dealership, which is the main goal. Oz's hand is starting to get loaded up like a grenade. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to push through this reach though. To be fair, there is a fair amount of information contained there, but you're not all too keen on pushing into third place.
Now Oz has a decision. Does he keep going? And if he folds, what does he fold with? 8-pin makes sense.
Yeah, so you give up a shocky chance and you go into a little bit it's very flexible is how I see this hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 5-man draw again takes him into Ishan 10 now. 3-man. Ooh, no gun.
Oh, that's quite a mighty push. The 4-man was not safe at all. I think Oz is just pushing.
Yeah, Oz is definitely just pushing now.
And they get into tempo.
And here's if you're pushing, you're probably reaching here, I think. Oh, it's a little bit late.
Yeah,
it does reach anyway.
Yep, so nice retreat from Oz. Reach draw 1. Decent amount of foo. Oh, not actually that much foo because it's mid-tile Ankos. Yeah, so it's oh god. Unfortunately, does deal in for Oz. So reach Dora 1, 3900 plus the juicy sticks in the middle.
I like that push from Oz. You know Hughes' hand can't be all too big considering you see a lot of the Dora and one of the red 5s are in your hand. So the most you deal into there is probably a Mungun, and it's pretty unlikely for it to ever be anything bigger than that. So the push there is pretty nice. Now, East 4-2 Honda, whenever Jay says anything about going along at light speed, we slow down a little bit.
It's the caster's curse.
See, a pair of the Yakuhai Red Dragon for Hughes. This is probably the most normal hand we've had the entire game. Seven, so draw. Cuts the Yakuhai tiles pretty standard. Slow progression for Veggie, but does have Tanya Cheetoy opportunities. Meanwhile, Rariel with lots of runmans, rather one runman that's already completed and a possible Ipeko Tanyao shape in there. Maybe even run Peko. Draws an 8, so. All right. This is that hand might get pretty interesting actually.
Are they gonna knock on the doors of that Yakuman bounty again?
Hmm. Get the feeling it's unlikely.
Yeah, it's definitely unlikely, but
Mm.
dreams.
Well, they are tile dreaming, and they need to
Exactly.
dream for those tiles
Oh,
right now.
that's one step closer to the dream.
It is one step closer. However, there's a couple dreams that you're closer to.
Hmm.
I don't see this turning into a Yakuman.
I think if they draw the 4-pin, they could cut the 3-pin.
And
And then
they'd have to draw specifically like 6 though first. Oh, even 4-pin first, because then you
Yeah.
have to reject Empire
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you draw the. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it has to be 4 3-pin.
Oh. So Ishan 10 for Hughes. It's got a very nice Ishan 10. However, unfortunately, the 8-Sos are being eaten by Rariel. 10 option, yep. Given the option to take the Tenpai on the 5-8 pit and does take it. So it puts him into Tenpai for Chun Nami. And the 5 and 8 pins are almost all dead.
Basically a dead weight already. The 8 pins are unlikely to come out of Veggie's hand. 5-pin. 6-pin would be the only draw that dooms Rariel.
Yep. Now, if Chun comes out from Oz, do they Diamond Carnet?
Now that the question varies depending on who you ask, I think. I think I would probably consider it. Now does
Pi for Rariel. 2 5-pin 3-mon. Can't push into it on the 6-mon. It puts draw, which is a bit unfortunate. So now it is Rariel, and that 2-pin is almost all. So there are 1 2-pin and 1 3-mon left. That's not a bad weight, actually.
yeah, it's basically like a Kanchan or a Shanpon weight. So 2-pin here. Veggie can't push it, so 1 3-mon left.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when that's the 3.
No weights left. Yeah, so unless Veggie 10 pies on a unless Veggie somehow managed a 10 pie there, we're never seeing where he'll finish his hand.
And so Rariel does not get the hand, and we do move on to South 1. Pretty interesting scoreline.
It's a very interesting scoreline, and the goals will change depending on what point we get in the game. Hughes here will definitely be still going for that first place. However, once dealership passes, you're probably changing your goals pretty quickly, maybe shooting for second or even not last. Considering that you're already, you've climbed back pretty well. Taking a last basically throws away all that work. So you definitely aiming for not last, but with your dealership here, you can definitely aim for, maybe even first. Rariel, on the other hand, is in a little bit of an iffy situation, I think. It's how aggressively do you play right now?
So Oz cheese that 5-mon, pretty much hardline committing to that Shinitsu, I think.
Yeah, the Chinitsu is so close that you might as well go.
Yeah.
And, if not considering the league, just because your Kamicha is already in last place, they'll be pushing anything. So, you will be eating tiles from them. So the early calls forcing the Chinitsu, I don't mind at all.
Oh, there's 2 Chinitsu forces. I think. Because it looks like Rariel is forcing in that Chinitsu too.
Yeah, the only downside is that Ozbol's Chinitsu looks a lot stronger
Yeah.
That said, a lot of muns are being used in Hughes's and Veggie's hand here.
Mm,
10 pipe for Hughes as well, 7 so.
mm. The thing you have to consider is that Oz has a slight cowardice factor. Not in that he's a cowardly player, but in that, like, for him to deal into a Chinitsu is probably worse than for him to win one, marginally.
Hmm.
So I think that's a factor. We'll have to see what happens, of course.
Well, considering his current situation, he doesn't need the Chinitsu, but it's definitely nice to get.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, dodging dealing into Reriel's Honitsu would be a lot better than getting your own Honitsu here, I think. Now, Reriel is making me eat my words again, because they're getting a lot closer towards that Chinitsu line. However, it will be unable to chi 7 so just because Hughes wins on that 7 so. But is Ishanten now?
Veggie looks like he's folded, cutting the 5-pin and the 1 mine out of their hand. They seem like they're pretty out of the hand.
Veggie's probably out here.
Fortunately for Hughes, does Tsumo Chun Doradora 2,000 points all.
Nice stand hand there. Grabs himself 6,000 points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, puts himself back into fighting range of even first place here. So, yeah, making good use of the dealer. South 1 for Honda now. Jay, please never say we're moving along at light speed again.
Yeah, no, what? We're moving on at light speed. We're gonna be here. Hey, I have a vested interest in Hughes winning this Hanchan. I mean, I want Veggie to win, but like, if Hughes wins this Hanchan, then I get my prediction bonus.
You get your prediction bonus. Did we run a fantasy league? We should have ran a fantasy league.
Alrighty, so nice 7 so draw from Veggie puts them into Ishan 10 for, well, I guess it's just reach nummy, but Ishan 10 is Ishan 10.
6-pin draw here for Hughes is pretty good. Fills out the hand nicely. And definitely progressing towards, reach nothing. It actually looks like now that I have a closer look at it. Yeah, I'm trying to dig at something here, but it looks like it might just end up being reach nothing. We'll keep an eye on that though. Now, Veggie 10 pies.
Waiting for
free
the 3 so, praise be.
Yeah. Praise be free so. However, Oz has what, 4 Dora here, and it's likely he might actually fold here, considering
actually,
that he's way far away.
Yeah, like even okay, so that is an interesting tile to draw. But even with 3 Dora, you have to think about the feasibility of completing the hand and your position. And so, as you've stated before, Oz is a more conservative player. He may still push with like Tanya Dora, but I don't imagine he will take the risk of dealing live.
Yeah, Tanya Dora is even further away than just like reach Dora 4 there. So yeah, folding out is probably correct there for Oz. Meanwhile, Veggie reach Sumo 2,700 total for him. Shifts dealership now. So where does Hughes go from here?
Oh, double re Chanta, double re Junchan.
Got it.
Double re Junchan.
Oh, Hughes, yes.
Double re Junchan.
Surely not. Okay.
So unsatisfying.
Now, funnily enough, Hughes's hand is definitely going to be one of those hands where you sit for like 10 turns before you 10 pie, and someone else will reach before you, and you'll be really sad.
Yes. But you'll probably chase it anyways, right?
You probably will chase it anyway, but you'll be sad that you didn't 10 pie first.
Yes, I agree with that. Oh, Veggie is prepping a grenade.
Yeah, so Veggie's hand is a lot of pawns are going to be coming pretty quickly here. However, Reriel already has double south confirmed in their hand. So, if Veggie happens to open here, Reriel will probably follow very closely behind.
Veggie has a decision. Oh, Okay, Ton does come out, which will be Pond, and now he has a decision.
Yeah. You've got your Yaku confirmed now. Now, do you confirm your pair? No, you don't. But you already have pairs in the west and north, so I don't see this backfiring. There's a lot of ways to progress your hand here.
I think I would have liked the west cut. You already see 4 wests, so you can keep your 2 pairs in the norths and the 4-pin and just progress like it's a normal hand.
Yeah,
However,
increase your opening chances.
Eating my words a little bit. Hard greed. So, okay, wow, this is interesting. So, Veggie decides to go for Honitsu, going for Ton, Honitsu, Dora 3. Ricci from... Oh, we have a showdown. We have a showdown. So, we have a Kanchan 7-man weight, which is dead for Ariel, unfortunately, and Tenpai for Veggie on the 2-5-man for Ton, Honitsu, Dora 3. So, that's is that a Hanuman?
Yeah, Ton Honitsu. Yeah, that's
Also, there are
Hanuman.
8 weights left, by the way.
Yeah, so for Rerio, I'd be shaking right now. I'd be very concerned. I actually don't think this Honitsu push was actually greedy coming from Veggie, considering that free 6-pin probably isn't your best end weight shape anyway.
Yeah.
And 6-9 man, 2-5 man 6-9 man is probably a lot better. 2-5 man is marginally better than free 6-pin. There's an argument that it could look Honitsui, so people won't throw muns into you. However, you've called Pon East, Pon North. You could literally be anything.
Oh, okay. So the 2 mons are being drawn by all the not Rarial and Veggie people. Veggie did turn down a Khan on the Ton, not wanting to give any extra Dora, and them already having a dealer Haremon, so not wanting to tempt fate, I suppose.
This is pretty unfortunate for Hughes. We did talk about how, it's one of those hands where you sit in Ishan 10 for ages and, never hits Tenpai anyway. Oswald picks up another one of the weights, currently holding 5.
Oh, that's not enough to go to Baimon, but that's pretty good.
No, that's only 7 hun if I'm counting right.
Yeah, I think that's only 7 hun, but that's pretty good. 6,000 all, you take those.
I don't you mind in Veggie's situation.
And so
now we've seen comebacks from negative 4,000 before. Putting that out there.
Yes, we have, especially with them having a dealership left. So don't play the dancing funeral music. I forgot what it's called. What's it called again?
Coffin dances.
Yeah, the coffin.
Or like the actual song.
I forgot what the name of it is called.
Like Astromania or something like that.
I don't remember. Pun of the Shah coming from Oz. A bit of an awkward hand, probably just wanting to move this dealership on because, they don't really want them to win any more points. And where's this hand realistically gonna go? What else is there? Veggie with 2 Dora. It's not bad. Seven-man draw is very good for Ariel. Dare I say another Junchan if they can draw the 1-man 1-so, or even 1-man 7-so and go for Pinfu. Pun of the 4-so puts Ozball 1 step closer to winning the hand. 2 Shanten for Veggie. Still got a few. It's mostly the 5-7-9 so shape, which is a bit awkward for Veggie because they will need to offload a Dora in some respect. Hughes does get into Tenpai, waiting for the Haku. Now, they're waiting for the 1-cut Haku, which is one of the strongest weights in the entire game. Is 1-cut honors.
1-cut honors are ridiculously powerful.
And what's worse, their discards do not signal Cheetoy. Like, ridiculously so. Like, that is the most normal set of discards I've seen in a while. Oz in Tenpai. Do they take it, though? No, they decide to cut the 3-pin, thinking that their odds of winning are probably too low. So they don't want to cut
Yeah, having to cut a 5-man into 6-man early and the 3-man cut is a little bit spicy, to say the least. So yeah, I respect this fall.
The sad dramatic irony is the fact that that if they would have summoed. Okay, the both the sad dramatic ironies is that if they draw the Haku, they probably instantly cut it. Unfortunately, and never mind. So they do decide to risk the 5-man later, and Hughes immediately deals in on the 4-pin. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused at the inconsistency, but maybe they just didn't have a safe tile. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where it's like I've run out of like safety options. I guess I just go now.
Yeah. All right, so we move
So
to
South
South
3.
3.
The
Rariel's
comeback
last.
deal.
Yes, as you say, the comeback dealership, and it does have a hand for it, really.
Dora 1. However, 2 of the East are in Veggie's hands. So Dora, the best Rariel will get is Dora Tunky here. Otherwise, we're looking at Haku
Honetsu?
Toy maybe?
Honetsu
is line as well, yeah.
You'll probably end up having the 6-pin pair, I imagine.
Or maybe even just Haku and hoping for a better hand next round. Not exactly sure what Rariel's playstyle is. I haven't seen them play all too much. What the correct answer here is, I don't actually know off the top of my head.
This is the decision, though. Like,
this is definitely the decision point.
And it decides not to go for it. Choosing
1-man, yeah. Keeping 1-man there is only good if you happen to draw more 1-mans. You can still accept the 2-man, so yeah, it's a nice in between. No chi on the 8-man there though.
I don't know if that's just me. I hear a small buzzing. Is that your mic, SBD?
I'm listening for it now. I don't hear anything.
Is it not on stream? Because if it's not on stream, it doesn't matter then. Please let me know if you guys hear a small buzzing.
There is actually something coming up even when I'm quiet, so I am looking around for it now. It does seem to be coming from my end, so I will look for it.
Oh, good. Tenpai for Hughes on the Kanchan 3-man for Reach Dora 1. 6 immediately pawned off by Rariel. However, Rariel will need to drop the 3-man unless they want to go Atozuke for the Haku, which is offered right now, is an Atozuke on the Haku. Chase Ricci from Oz here, waiting for the 1-4 for Reach Pinfu Dora 1. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the Sunshock at end. Rariel does sumo the Haku and will take those nice sticks, and this is a good way to start coming back. You know, take those sticks and get out of the... Oh, wait, not out of the negatives just yet, but you know. Yeah, I think the chat is noticing the...
Yeah, the chat is noticing, and I'm looking around still for it. I'm not exactly sure what the...
No, the buzzing seems to be a technical thing. I'm going to try something. I'm going to mute you very quickly and see if it's not just from my computer. Give me a second. Yeah, the buzzing went away when I muted you. Oh well. It's okay. We'll have to just deal with it. This is a very nice hand from Hughes.
It is alright. We'll just switch to push to talk, so it's a little bit better.
Oh, yeah. It basically went away when you went push to talk. Thank you, SBT. Sorry about that. Yep. So we are. Oh, Hughes is. Oh god, that is a. Look at that hand. Especially if they draw the 4-pin. Mentan pin Dora Dora. Sumo would make it a Hareman. 2 would make it a Baimon. I find that 3-so drop interesting, actually. So stick with me here. I know this sounds insane, right? Say you draw a 3-so and you cut the 1-man, and you draw a 5-pin and you can cut the 6-so. And then if you draw a 4-pin, you've suddenly got Sanshoku. Now, that is a tortured strain of logic. I'm not saying that's likely. However, 1-man's not that safe. So is it that bad is the question I'm asking here.
1-man usually is a little bit safer than the other tiles just because it is a terminal. But however, just because it is a terminal doesn't mean it's 100% safe. Now, this Tenpai from Ozbo is interesting.
Oh my god. And Hughes just drew the apart tile. That's nasty. Almost has to diffuse the hand. That's so sad. A not insignificant part of me hurts right now. Now, Veggie's offered an option and does choose to hard fold. So he's going to let Oz have the chance at sumoing and giving up the deal in, lowering the deal in rate by not just dealing in right there. Oh, and that would have been Tenpai, however, they would have had to deal the 3-pin into that if they Tenpai'd off of it. Veggie cutting the 1-man, so I think he is just fully out of the hand at this point. Tenpai for Hughes has done a loop-de-loop and gotten into Tenpai for the 3-pin, 7-pin. However, does not want to risk the 9-man. So will not take the Tenpai.
It's a little bit unfortunate for Hughes here as well. Had a very nice hand earlier on that had to fold out due to pretty powerful reach coming from Oz.
This Samenchan is also dead. Yeah, Samenchan's dead. That's a fit of irony right there. So Oz does end up being the only person Tenpai, but that's a pretty nice escape for Veggie, especially because if that hadn't cashed in on the 3 or 6-pin side, that would be deadly. Instead, it's just 1,000 points all, moving us along to South 4.
We're suddenly in a pretty interesting fight now. Veggie wouldn't be all too scared just yet because Oz does need a deal a Mungun to jump over him, but you wouldn't be the most comfortable in the world right now. Cheetoy opportunity once again for Veggie. And unfortunately for Oz, that dealership comeback isn't looking too hot as this hand is quite trash.
Yes.
7 so very nice though.
Goals are so janky here. Rariel needs a really big hand to not be in last. Like a Hanetsumo, which is kind of sad and hurts me in the soul. Hughes' goal to second place is almost worse. You're going to need a Baimon Sumo. And that's not something you really want. And really, he's actually pushing towards that direction by hard cutting the 3-man here. And so really the most likely hand here is Veggie's because, well, I mean, look how pretty that hand is. Oh, it drew another Dora.
Definitely.
Ishan 10 for Oz. bit of an awkward Shanten, but it is one. It's not. Yeah, I can definitely say it's a Shanten, but not happily, I guess. That turned into a two-sided Shanten. So Oz could cut the 4-6 pin here, and he will choose to do so. 6 pin is pawned by Veggie. Veggie is full steam aheading with this Tanyao Dora 3 hand. Oh, he draws the 5 pin. Fate is so cruel.
There is no goal. To be quite fair, he wouldn't have drawn the 5 pin without the 6 pin pawn.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. Let's see. Tenpai for Oz chooses to Dharma, knowing that the Haku is a Yaku, so doesn't want to give away that they're in Tenpai and throw the stick in there. Yes, so he can win off the Haku anyways, and 2 of the 9 pins are dead anyways, so I believe that is the rationale. Veggie could get really greedy if he pawns the 5 man. It'd be Tanyao Toy Toy Dora 3.
Veggie Man, you've got enough points already. Just end.
No, what do you mean? Keku sticks, right?
Keku sticks indeed.
Keku sticks. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Sorry, I've lost my words because I don't really know what's going on. Rariel has a pretty scary hand with a decently scary Ishanten, but I mean, it's still Ishanten is the problem. You're facing down 2 Tenpai. Oh, sorry, you're facing down Tenpai, which probably would come out if the last Haku comes out. So we just have. I mean, Oz is just hoping that. Oh wow, that is a hard commitment to Toy Toy.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this. Actually, no, I don't like it. It's a little greedy, but I understand why they want it. The team needs points to jump into. Yeah, I think they need to jump into 4th right now. So you need the points, but at the same time, winning is better than not getting points at all. So I definitely would have preferred to see a Tanyao Dora 2, Dora 3 instead of a Toy Toy Dora 3 here.
Ricci for Rariel 3-6 so will shove Veggie in an awkward position because he has almost nothing. Does choose to cut the 2 pin, thinking if one pass, both passes. 7 so draw from Oz. Does take apart their tempo. And yeah, with that, it will end in a new Koku. So we'll end with Veggie in first. What do we do with the leftover Ricci sticks in terms of scoring? Because they automatically go to first place by the Mahjong Soul thing. But is that what we're doing for official scores?
I will actually have to double check the ruling on that because there's a lot of things happening tonight that I did not anticipate to actually happen.
I agree with that. But yeah, so we have Veggie in first place, Osbald in second, Hughes in third, and Rariel in last place. Let's pull up Veggie for the interviews. I can do that if you need to look at the rules.
Yes, please.
Is the other game still going, I wonder? I'm just curious. Other game is still going. Alright, I don't know what is happening in the other game, but we'll pull Veggie. Hello, Veggie. Congrats on your win. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. You're a bit soft, but I can hear you. So, take us through this Hanchans. Were there any interesting moments you found that you wanted to talk about, other than your Suwanko Tenpai that diffused?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I got a couple lucky hands early that were fairly quick. And then once I sort of won the Honitsu hand with the Doras.
Yeah, this one, right?
A bit behind.
So I noticed that you skipped the Khan. So, what did you feel? What was your thinking in terms of like, did you not value the extra draw relative to, like, take us through, like, when you
Yeah.
saw this Ricci, like, what were you wanting to do? Did you have any pushing, like anything that you were going to stop pushing with, or did you think this hand is big? Give us your mentality.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm thinking at the time, the hand's big enough. If I win this hand, it's Hanuman already. Like, I don't need to risk giving out an extra door and maybe helping last place out if they get extra Ura. Like, I might as well just throw the East and probably not on Cuckoo.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. And then we sort of saw that you were not really being too passive, actually, that you sort of took lines towards aggression still, even with the points as they are. Something we were wondering is towards the south forehand, we noticed that you committed to the Toy Toy. Was there a particular reason? So I think it's this drop here.
Basically, at the time, well, I opened up trying to just play, like, show aggressive, like, trying to probably just a Tanyao hand, hoping that Oz is like, he's happy where his points are sitting at currently. He's not going to try and risk anything too bold into me. So when I'm looking at his discards at the time, considering that if he is in a Tenpai, it's either something weird or probably in the Mansu. So once the first four-man passed from Reroll, I decided to throw mine as well because I picked up the two, so I knew that was safe against Oz as well. I'm just primarily trying to make sure I didn't deal into him at this stage.
Fair enough. So throwing on a bit of caution, I suppose. Well, yeah, overall, good win. Congrats. And this is very, very big for Notice Me Tenpai because it does, we were very close to fourth place already, and, getting a nice, solid first place, gives us a lot of points. So, yeah, congrats. Good job.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. So that ends the Hanchan, but I think the other Hanchan is still going, so we might check in with that one. Is it still going? Yes, it is. So we're going to check in with that one and see what's going on. Let's see. So yes, this Hanchan I don't know any of the players' names. I'm sorry. It's the South one, Domination Nation from this player here. Unfortunately, they do deal into Muginra for Tanyao Dora Aka, so 3,900. Thus moving us along to South 2. Now, I believe whoever this player is on Flame Curse Evil Eye, so they will actually need a pretty decent first place to get back into the top 4. However, this is already a pretty good first place, so no need to be too worried. Sorry,
that would be Saber.
Saber, thank you very much. Again, we have the slight annoyance of the players are not named what they're named anywhere else. So there's a bit of a mental Olympics in trying to figure out who belongs where. So, so we have Sigma's dealership here. And Sigma needs to win a few points. I believe their team standing is a little bit not great, along with the fact that even in this Hanchan they're not doing particularly well. So I imagine they will be digging in and pushing hands on pretty recklessly, like with basically almost no regard to safety, to personal safety. So, who else do we have? We have Muginra here, who has the option to go for a Chinitsu/Honitsu. And this Nanso is okay. Well, Nanso you can drop the 1 pin, but any more Sozu tiles, and you have to decide at that point really. What are you going to do? I guess. So yeah. Foreman was dropped, and they dropped the Hatsu over the 4/5 man, so they're choosing to keep their Sozu blocks, rather than hardlining for Honitsu or Chinitsu, keeping this option of maybe pin Itsu alive. So if they filled in the 5-so, or maybe they're even choosing to disguise their hand a little bit. You know, if you just show you cut a 4-5 man, it's much less convincing than if you chose to cut the Hatsu and the Nan. Chi of the 5-pin from Sigma, looking to be going for Tan Yao. Yeah, Tan Yao. Yeah, we'll have to get rid of the 1-2 man, which is a bit awkward, but not a disaster really. Yeah. 3-man draw is very nice for Saber here.
I think Sigma's in a little bit of a problematic situation here. Colin the 5-pin, however, no Yaku. And no easy way towards a Yaku either. Tanyao is a touch awkward, can only take the 6-man in their 7-8 block and have to cut the 1-2 man block at some point. So definitely stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
I find that 9-so cut super interesting from Muginra. If they chose to cut the 4-man, 5-man, they'd be in Tenpai for Chinitsu.
Definitely. I don't think they're looking that far enough ahead here, but can wheel around still. Drawing any Sozu tile will get them back into Chinitsu, and I suspect they'll take like a 3-10 Chinitsu weight anyway.
Yeah, I think the awkward thing is that the 8-so puts them into a 3-sided 3-10, which is a bit of a feels bad.
It's a little bit of feels bad, but there's only one 9-so.
Well, but it's an 8-so as well. And yeah,
unlikely to simulate, yeah.
There we go. Speak of the devil. So, Mugiran does get into a 3-10, 6-8, 9-so weight for Chinitsu. No Itsu there, so it's just a Oh, I shouldn't say just a Mangan, but it is a Mangan. Still Ishan 10 here for Sigma. Can chi this and take a K10, which they do not.
Should have most definitely cheated that, I think.
Oh, they're cutting the 1-man out of that. Oh, they're still pushing this hand for value. Alright, they get offered the option again, which they choose to skip, which is consistent. They can, okay, so Muginra now can cut the 8-so and be waiting for a 5-so, 6-so for Chinitsu Aka, which is now a Haneman, which is, much better.
This is definitely a big improvement.
Yeah, especially if they can run it off of Saber. Saber is in Tenpai for a Kanshan 3-pin. Will they take the Richi? They do. Okay, they take a Dharma, but it's pretty brave to be cutting the 4-so into whatever is happening opposite you. So, I know, big props to Saber for taking the action in general, I think. How far will they push it? If they draw off another 5-so, will they cut it anyways to keep the Tenpai? I guess they won't be prompted with the question at all, but yeah, very, very brave coming from it. And Sigma does not get into Tenpai. Kind of does happen if you push your hand to Tushan 10. So Tenpai for Muginra and Saber, moving us along to South 3. So, South 3, Muginra's dealership. Chance for Muginra to do some damage. Saber will probably want to stem any sort of dealerships from anyone else because, you kind of want those Keku sticks right now.
Yeah, definitely. Saber's in a position where their score is actually high enough that they can start just washing away hands now and take a pretty respectable first place here.
Muginra hardlining for that Honitsu. Yeah, I would say that's hardlining for it, potting the 1-man.
Yeah, it's solid. Well, not really, not per se a solid, but this is a clear Honitsu push, I think. your shapes really don't do anything else, and strike a little bit of fear into your opponent's hearts.
It is a bugger Han actually, because there will be 2 Han Hanetsu. And Sigma decides to pawn the Haku. We're going for a cheaper hand. I'm going to guess it's to stop the bleeding. I'm going to guess that the hands... I mean, it's fast. Like, admit it, it's a very fast hand, but it probably doesn't get anywhere fast enough that would feel good.
Yeah, the problem is your team is well past the stemming the bleeding phase. You, quite frankly, can't afford to stem the bleeding anymore.
Ishan 10 for Muginra. For Hanetsu Nami. Chinitsu chance, if they decide to go super, super greedy, they would have to go like extremely greedy though, because they'd have to cut the 2 shars while seeing that there is a Yakuhai pawn on your left. So, see what happens. Ishan 10 for Sigma. Choosing to cut the 9 man. One pin. I would have really respected a diamond con at that point. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, a diamond con there would have been, if anything, the play. You do need points, and flipping yourself some kind of Dora would have been good, but doesn't take it. Draws into 10 pie 6 pin, but yeah, it's not the best 10 pie in the world, and not the best hand in the world, and definitely not what you need right now.
Saber offered an option to pawn for Tenpai. Skips it, but ends up getting into Tenpai anyways, waiting for the 4-7. So Tanyao, Dora, Takame, Sanshoku. So, Tanyao, Pinfu, Dora, Takame, Sanshoku. So, scary, scary stuff happening right now. Chi from Muginra cutting the 8 man, putting him into a 1-4 man Tenpai for Hanetsu Nami. Yes, Hanetsu Nami. That's right. Tsumegiri Richi, after the next call from Muginra, going to lean on some pressure, believing that Muginra probably doesn't have enough tiles to push, to fold, and, not an unfair analysis when you're down to 7.
Yeah, we do see the Dora come out right away as well.
4-7 so. Really wants that 4 so. But, we'll take a 7 so. And the fact is that there are 6 of them left in the wall. That's kind of scary.
And Saber is also probably more favored to win this hand, just because Muginra's weights are actually pawned by himself. So he's on 2 4-mans only, and 4-7 so happens to be Genbutsu. So yeah, I don't see Muginra winning this unless they happen to Suma.
Ooh, and does deal the Takame Forso, so will deal in on the really, really big side. Reach, Pinfu, Sanshoku, Tan, Yao, Dora, Ura. So nice 12,000 point hand to Saber here. Moving us to...
The lining there is that there was no double Ura for a Baiman, but yeah, that's not what you want to be dealing into and losing your dealership on.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we hit South 4 and Saber with a very nice nest egg of points here. Yeah, I don't really know what to say to that. This is just a very nice situation for Muginra to be in. For Saber to be in. Probably will want to shut it down and stop Nazi from getting any sort of streak, but this is kind of the not too many complaints, I guess.
I don't think Saber would even mind playing for some kind of bigger hand here, just because they are so far in the lead. So any pushes coming from anyone other than dealer I wouldn't be surprised if they even try to fight it, just because, team needs points, I have points, I can afford to lose a little bit of points to gain some points.
Definitely. Is Shan 10 for Nazi here? Reach Tanyao. Unless they draw the 9-pin, of course. Yeah, does get rid of the 7 mod, so it loses that Dora Ukaide in favor of marginal increase in speed, I suppose. Oh, that's a nice draw. Puts them into Tenpai. Reach Takame Tanyao. 6-9 pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 weights left in the wall.
And Aura 3 potential as well.
Yes.
Looks like we're just getting a couple folds from Maginra. Saber with the opportunity to call into Tenpai there, doesn't decide to take it. Yeah, no need to push into dealer here. Let someone else deal in, or let it wall out and try again next round.
Uncomfortable Dora drop.
Very uncomfortable indeed. No one. Maginra doesn't decide to pawn it here, basically confirming that they're electing to play a little bit safer here. I wouldn't have minded if I saw a pawn from that, honestly.
The beginner does deal in though. On the 9 pin, reach. Yeah, reach 2,000 points. Moves us along to South 4-1. Yeah. Ooh. Very fancy. Oh, look around. 3 door on our left. Pretty nifty Chanta Hunt. Oh, okay, never mind. Not Hanetsu, probably. Down here, Sigma with fast hand. Unfortunately, fast is not what you want. And Mugenra with a. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is probably going to be another Chinitsu push coming from Maginra.
Or it could be Round Paker. Never
yes,
mind,
it could also be Round Paker. Or it could be Suanko.
Oh man, yeah. So as you said, they decide to take the Chinitsu. Oh my god, what an action-packed hand! What an action-packed! Oh my god, look around. What
yes,
the?
we do see the chi come from Maginra. I feel as if I think waiting just a touch longer would have been alright there.
Maybe you're supposed to go for mention there. I'm not sure. Is two Shanten for Nazi. For a lot. For Reach Dora 4, Dora 3. Maybe Pinfu if they draw correctly. Tenpai for Sick. Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, probably just trying to get out of this game.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's not the best thing in the world.
We do see it actually caused the snap fault from Nazi. Oh, wait, no, I'm mistaken. Nazi just Moashi'd with the cuts because he can actually get back into Tenpai very quickly. Oh god. That is Tenpai fuel, alright? Like, because the 9-man is cut, so you can cut the 9-man out of your hand if you want to get into Tenpai. Oh, he is hard pushing this hand. Sorry, I take
hard pushing, he wants like some kind of good Yaku in there as well. So I like this push from Nazi.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's got a really wide Shanten as well. Is that Tenpai? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Tenpai.
Tenpai now from Maginra, 1-4 pin Haku. Tenpai as well for Nazi. Just gonna crane my head a little. I believe that's a Sun Manchan. 258.
Wait,
No,
what? No, it's just 4-pin.
no, that's just 4 pin. I missed it. I got excited, alright. I wanted to see some action and I got.
So we do have a Tamahane on. So if Sigma does cut the 4-pin, it will cause Muginra to win instead of Nazi, which is the ideal outcome for Saber here. So there's that one 4-pin in the wall, which is the very important 4-pin. Haku is dead. 1-pins are 1, 2, 3. There's one 1-pin left. In terms of 8-mons, is that the most live weight? No, there's one 8-mon left. Sorry, no, I'm a big fat liar.
Yeah, there's very good discipline here coming from Saber. Not like cutting his uncos first, not absent-minded.
No! McGinra just folded before.
Oh my.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So McGinra just folded right before the 4-pin was dealt, which means that this is the second time tonight where
Yeah,
the
this is indeed
Tamahane did not trigger because the person who would have won folded instead, and instead the other person who's the dealer wins and continues the Hanchan. Wait, is that double re? Wait, look at Sigma's hand. Oh, it's not double re.
No, not quite. Not quite.
Okay, never mind. I looked at it slightly wrong. It was close.
You know, the sad part is double re wouldn't have even been enough. Tenpai here, pretty wide it looks like. 478.
I think so. Yeah, I think 4-7-mon, 8-mon. Definitely just wanting out. Feel like if you're playing for points, you'd either not pawn it or cut the 1, 2, 3. So maybe a bit of tilt.
Yeah, definitely trying to just get out the game here.
And they do take the 8-mon win off of that, giving Sigma a 1,000 point hand and ending the Hanchan. So we do see that things end with Saber in first place, Nazi in second place, Beginner in third place, and Sigma in last place. What a spicy day. This is a very, very important day. I think before we end off the Hanchan, we're going to go through the points because I think the points, have they been updated? Yes, they have been updated, and oh my god, look at this, SBT. Look at this. This is insane. So, we do end the day with Chombo Nomi in first, AUNSW Wanderers in second, Flame Curse Evil Eye in third, Tile Dreaming in fourth, Notice Me Tenpai in fifth, Zomini Tricerators in sixth, Powerpuff Boys in seventh, The Last Wise Players in eighth, Drawers for Losers in ninth, and Can't for Fun in 10th place. Now, what is very, very, very important about this is look at second to fifth place. They are no more than 40 points apart from each other. No,
Yeah,
they're
so
more than 30 points apart from each other. So, like, throw like a small like beacon of confetti in there, and all of a sudden, you know, this is a definite like bare knuckle brawl for fourth place here.
yeah, the league turned from like the front pack, the middle, and the back into quite honestly like a mess in the front middle, and then everyone else in the back. Anything could happen. Like honestly speaking, Chombo Nomi are pretty safe in first place there. Could take a couple losses and fall down to fourth, but they're likely to qualify, I'm going to say. However, second all the way down to even, I'd say sixth, is all up in the air.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Especially
Yeah,
because, like, yeah, look at before today, like, we look at the scores. Look at this score line before the start of the day. It definitely looked like Flame Curse, Evil Eye, and AU NSW Wanderers were sitting pretty at this point, and just from an average increase in Notice Me Tenpai score, like Flame Curse, Evil Eye, and AU NSW Wanderers haven't actually lost that many points. It's just that the dramatic like plus 80 to Notice Me Tenpai has made it a bit of a sweat. It's made it a very big sweat, like to see who gets here. So like really, like, oh my god, it's going to be very interesting to see any Hanchans that involve any of these four teams. Like, do we have a game where it's literally all four of them? Because if there's a game that's literally all four of them, that is like the bloodiest game possible.
Have you looked at next week? Because next week is extremely spicy considering the current landscape. Let's see, like Sunday 9 p.m. for example, Kung for Fun, Flame Curse Evil Eye, Notice Me Tenpai, and Powerpuff Boys. 8 p.m. you have Notice Me Tenpai, AUNSW Wanderers, and Flame Curse Evil
Oh
Eye.
my god.
And then before that, even you've got Flame Curse Evil Eye, Chombo Nomi, and AUNSW Wanderers on the Saturday. In the same time slot at 9 p.m. Saturday, you've got Zoman Chikateratus, the Powerpuff Boys, Last Wise Players, and Tile Dreaming as well. So next week, no matter where you look, there is going to be some kind of important game.
Absolutely. Like, I'm so excited to see what happens. Like, every Hanchan from here on out is heavy. It pays. It is heavily weighted and dramatically influences where each of the teams sit towards the end. Yeah, exciting stuff. Please join us next week, because this will be the final week of the preliminaries, and it'll be figuring out like who actually ends up in the top four. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, these point scores are minuscule. Like, they are almost non-existent in terms of spacing. Like, especially look at this gap between Tile Dreaming and Notice Me Tenpai. That's less than a point. So
It is
like.
actually less than a point.
So really, like, it's gonna be exciting. I hope you guys will join us next week to see what happens. Although with that though, we will end the stream here. We wanna thank you guys so much for joining us, and yeah, please come next week. Like, I don't really know, like, I don't know how else I could convince you other than a scoreline as spicy as this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, SBT, for joining me on the desk. Well, you're always on the desk, but thank you, SBT, for commentating with me and providing me company.
Anytime, I do.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week.